We are back.
Yes,
Our
sir. Been a
broadcast.
minute.
Yes, it's been a minute, but trials and tribulations, how life and the universe throws you these curveballs, and you got to hit them out the park every time you get it. But I think you people know what it is, especially when you watch this podcast. It's the game within the game. I'm Duffel Bag Ransom, the oracle to the streets. I know everything.
Facts.
It's just the way it is. And my fucking brilliant co-host Yoda. I call him Yoda. I don't want anyone else calling him. I see other people calling him Yoda. I don't like that
Yeah, I see
shit.
that's been adopted now.
I don't like that shit. There's
This is
only one. I don't like that shit. But hey, it is what it is. It's a good nickname. It's a good nickname. It fits you.
I'm
Um,
a I'm a steal Disney's little shit and make this into a logo somehow. You're gonna sue the fuck out of me,
hey, I
but
was about
such
to
is
say
life.
no. I was about to say no. The fuck you ain't. No, the hell you're not. You're not going to do that. Um,
Joda.
oh yeah, love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. We are back. Yeah, Jay. I know you're not a big holiday guy, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Fuck it. We just got past Thanksgiving, and would like to know if you celebrated Thanksgiving with your family or folks, whoever.
Nah, you were absolutely correct, man. I am not a holiday person, and honestly, even if the story of Thanksgiving is real with the pilgrims and the Indians and all of that, it's fucking lie, obviously. But let's assume it's real. I'm not a fucking pilgrim. I wasn't alive back then, and I do not need some special federal holiday to allow me to spend time with people that I give a fuck about. That's absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah, never did, Jay. I asked you that for a reason, of course. I already knew you was going to go into this tirade. Well, let me. It's fucking fake, man. Everything. Well, you know what,
All of
Jay?
it.
Just made me think, and I didn't just think of this right now, Jay. I often think of this. That's why I'm so glum and grim most of the times, Jay. Um, when you realize everything you've been told, everything you've been taught, everything you memorized, and traditions and all this other crap, it's all been a lie. All of it. I don't know too many things that are the truth that we were told. And Jay, sometimes I struggle with it because it's depressing.
Yeah, man, that's kind of the catch 22 when you get to learning about the world and learning how it is that things work. You start to realize, man, all of this is fake and everything is made up, and you have no idea what it is that you should believe. Like, you look back at history and you think about inventions and people that they told you were mattered and timelines and stuff. You have to, like, none of it's real. Nobody knows. Someone does. Somebody knows what the fuck happened.
Someone
Whoever it is
does.
that's in charge of them vaults in the Vatican knows exactly what happened, but they're not going to share that shit. And that seems pretty telling, but that's an entirely different topic.
Whole nother
But
topic.
the fact that you brought this up made me think. The other day, I saw a video about how Coca-Cola took a bunch of saints from back in the day and combined them together to make Santa Claus as we know him now. And they're responsible for making Christmas such a big holiday, all because they wanted to get people to drink Coke in the wintertime because it was traditionally a summer beverage.
Summertime,
And
yeah.
that's fucking wild to me. And it also absolutely makes so much sense just when you look out at everything that's going on in the world. Of course, Coca-Cola created Christmas so you could drink a bunch of sugary ass chemical water.
Why
Of
not?
course, that's what fucking happened.
It's kind of brilliant.
It is. It's brilliant. And this is the thing. Like, when you look out and you see all of this evil, mischievous shit that goes on in the world, like, sometimes I can't help but to think, man, this is really impressive.
Yeah,
Like, the
I
degree to
swear.
which they have brainwashed people is
Pretty cool.
incredibly effective, is baffling to me. Like, everybody knows this is not like a strange concept to anybody. This is not a conspiracy theory or anything like that. Everybody knows the system is corrupt. But somehow these same people who believe the system is corrupt believe in the education system and the medical system and the pharmaceutical industry. Like, this is what makes up the system. How do you believe that the system is corrupt, but every individual piece of it is good?
I don't know.
Absolute insanity to me. And that just, again, goes to show the effectiveness of the brainwashing of people. Baffling.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant, Jay. You know what,
It
Jay?
really is.
I'm about to do a magic trick for the people, for you and the people. I'm about to prove that brainwashing is real.
Mm,
I'm about to prove it to you right now.
I'm here for this.
And while we're on the topic of Thanksgiving, how do you get more than, let's say, I like to throw numbers around. How do you get let's be generous. How do you get 5 million people around the world to eat the same thing at the same time?
That is being very generous because I think the number is much higher.
I'm
But
just being look,
yeah, let's go with it.
I'm
5
not
million people.
5 million people eating a turkey on the same day. If that ain't brainwashing people, if that ain't brainwashing, then what the fuck is we oh, you mean to tell me on one day I get you all to eat the same thing and something that many of you don't even like. It's
Like, y'all don't eat turkey or ham any other
it's
day of the year
brilliant.
except for
It's
Thanksgiving.
it's
But
fucking
today,
brilliant.
but today it's time to sit down and eat your turkey and mashed potatoes. So that's what everybody does. This this is the thing though, right?
I just
At the
proved it.
beginning of the year, February 14th. It's now all time for you to go out and buy cards and chocolates and
There you
flowers so
go.
that you could tell your girlfriend that you love her. It's October 31st, time to go buy a costume and dress up like somebody else. It's end of November, time to eat some turkey. End of December, time to go buy some presents and put a tree in your house. And everyone just does it. And they call these things tradition. But this is mass brainwashing.
Yeah, yeah.
All of it.
Just proved it. That's how you do it.
1000%. But if you tell somebody that you have your own holiday traditions that you do with your own families on
Ah,
your own days, they look at you like you're crazy.
they're
Like
fucking
maybe March 17th is significant to me and my family. Why can't we commemorate this and
why?
celebrate this? That's weird if I do that. But if I put a dead tree in my house on December 25th of every year, then good for me.
How about you ever people look at people crazy if they eat something different on Thanksgiving? Yeah, me and my family don't eat turkey. You don't do what?
You
You
don't eat
don't eat no
turkey. What's
you
wrong
don't
with
eat
you?
turkey. What you eat? When do we ever eat turkey?
This, I don't think you understand. This is the day when we eat turkey.
That's that.
You're supposed to eat turkey
Ho-
today.
Hold on, Jay. But why? Why do we have to eat turkey today? Has anyone ever asked that question? Why the fuck are we eating turkey today?
Because pilgrims killed the Indians. And this is how we commemorate that day.
um,
This is how we commemorate that genocide.
hey, listen, man. Trigger words out now. Get it in store.
Hey,
Get it in
yes, go
store.
get that. Last track.
Yes, produced by Conductor Williams. Trigger words. You know, you hear them every day. Don't worry about it. You'll hear them a lot here.
Absolutely my favorite song of the year. Hands
Yeah,
down.
yeah, I love it.
Hands down.
I love it. You know what else I seen too, Jay? That kind of helped me come up with these ideas to throw at you. Um, I've seen something where, and I've seen it before, but it just hit me. It just made me realize a little bit more in depth now that the whole outer space shit is fake. Like, so you never seen. There's no videos. There's no actual videos of us there, but we've been told that we've been there, but there's no actual videos. And then I seen this video where a guy says, well, fire can't exist in oxygen because oxygen puts out fire. So once you get into a certain atmosphere or a certain depth in the atmosphere, there can they be fire? Can a rocket actually get to where it has to go if there's no oxygen? And I said, "Dang, kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense.
So
I don't know.
since this is the particular rabbit hole in which you have chosen,
I mean, because we're saying that everything has kind of been a
Nah,
lie.
all of it. Here's the thing. This is the thing. In the 1960s, they went to the moon. And there is a video of, I believe it's Richard Nixon, I think, call it talking to one of the astronauts on a rotary phone. You can't even use your iPhone on a plane that's within the atmosphere now, but he used his rotary phone to call space. That's what took place. Not only this, we went to the moon in the 60s, but haven't been back since. They say it's because we lost the technology. Absolute insanity to me. But here's the other question. Yes, maybe we did that, and maybe we haven't been able to go back, but why hasn't Russia gone to the moon? Why hasn't China gone to the moon? Why have zero other countries throughout the world gone to the moon?
Because them people ain't gonna believe that dumb shit. That's why. We're the dumbest people in the world. That's why. Who the fuck's gonna go for that, Jay?
Proudly, proudly.
Here's another thing. You know the whole Neil Armstrong shit when he was bouncing up on. You know, my one of my favorite directors of all time actually filmed that. Uh, Words came
Yep.
out of his mouth. Stanley Kubrick. He
Hmm.
actually said before he died, before killed, whatever happened to him. Um, that's another topic to be discussed on another date. But yeah, he said he filmed it. He said he filmed the whole shit was a sham. And why doesn't anyone talk about? Does anyone give a fuck? Like, yo, everything's a
No.
lie. Does anyone care?
But this is the interesting thing, right? Things come out and get debunked and get proven to be lies. And the people who fell for it don't care. They don't even switch their position up. Buzz Aldrin has said time and time again that he never went to the moon. It never really happened. But nobody cares about that. They come out and prove that the COVID vaccine was dangerous and that the masks didn't really do anything. But you still see people advocating for masks and taking more and more vaccines. And it's like, why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely insane. Like, you have fallen for the brainwashing so deeply that even when they told you it wasn't true, you refuse to accept it.
It's crazy.
That is insanity.
You know what, Jay? I'll be trying to dive deep. I do experiments in my house, Jay, and my family doesn't. They're not gonna like this, but I'm good. They're fucking guinea pigs, man. They're not gonna like it.
Fuck it.
They're not gonna like it. But I gotta divulge this information right now. So I do experiments in the house just to see how easy or how easily the mind can be impressed upon.
Mm.
How easily the mind is impressionable, and what can I do? So, and I like to see how quick things is. So I'll let's say I'll hum a song, right? And I'll hum the song a couple times, and I'll keep humming it. I just want to see how long does it take either my daughters or my wife. I want to see how long does it take for them to start humming it, and then it works every fucking time. Shh, I hope they don't see that. We're not gonna. We ain't clipping this up or anything. But I'm just saying, Jay. I do these experiments, and it works every time. Sometimes it takes shorter, sometimes it's longer, but it works every time. So it just and I like to prove to myself, damn, if I could do this around the house with no technology, no nothing, just humming a fucking song, just hum. Imagine what they're doing to you guys.
With infinite budget, infinite technology,
Infinite,
infinite time to do
infinite.
whatever it is that they want, that they take your children from a very young age and immediately start imposing stuff upon their mind.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
And but again, this is why it is that we are currently where it is that we are. This is why people can't think. This is why people hear the truth and still reject it. They
That's
hear the
that's
truth from the
crazy.
people who lied to them and still believe those people's lies.
That's impressive, Jay. I'm sorry. It's impressive.
No, wildly,
Yeah.
wildly impressive. Like, I said something the other day about this is not a conspiracy theory. Like, you could go Google and very easily find this information that schools were created specifically
Yep.
to create workers and to indoctrinate people and to discourage free thought. And you tell people this and they sit there and fight with it. No, school makes critical thinkers and knowledge. And it's like, this is a very basic, very, very basic level of research will tell you that this is false.
It's man, they put us in a bind. They put even the critical thinkers in a bind, Jay. And not maybe bind is the wrong word, but all right, for instance, for me, right? I know school is fucking bullshit, but my daughter goes to school. I fucking put my oldest through college, knowing that it's fucking bullshit. I still do it because I still put him to school. My daughter's she's young, she's in school. I'm like, because this how I put it, Jay. This how I rationalize it in my mind. I'm like, hey man, listen, you got an F, or she don't get Fs, but she got a low grade, or she didn't do as best as she can do on a test or something. I don't freak out over it. I tell her, listen, did you try hard? She's like, yeah, I tried everything. All right, cool. Because maybe you'll learn effort, because that's all I really care about. The effort that you put forth doing these activities. Whether you get it right or wrong, that's where school gets it wrong, because no one's going to be 100% of the time. The, so
So,
I try to dish those lessons to her, just to rationalize it. Because at the end of the day, listen, if I was in a different position, Jay, I would take her out of school. I would take her out of school for sure.
so I see this in two ways. So I have two thoughts about this, I guess. So, number one, people mistake whenever I say stuff about school they will respond with it and say, well, if you want to become a lawyer, you need a degree. Yes, nobody is saying that there's no utility to
Right,
getting a degree. If you want to be an engineer or an architect or a lawyer or a doctor, you got to go to school for it. And that is what it is. So, and despite what the internet tells you, everyone doesn't need to or want to be an entrepreneur. So if you want some sort of good ass job that's not sales related, a degree would probably be of some benefit to you because it allows you to get your foot in a door to certain places. But believing that they're representative of anything beyond a very expensive ass job application is absolutely ridiculous. They are
mhm,
not teaching you anything. They're
right,
not teaching you how to think. They're teaching you the exact opposite. And to the second thing that you said, I think that the more you get right in school, the less that you are actually able to think for yourself because everything
that's
in
a fact.
school teaches you to go outsource
Yep,
for information.
yeah,
You go to
yep,
history class and test is what does this book say on page 3? You do the same thing in science. You do the same thing in all of these other things. And what they teach you, what people mistake for critical thinking is to go out and look for source documents, which is really just proof of whatever it is that you want to say. Go find why it's okay to think this somewhere. Has somebody said it's okay to think this about the human mind? What did Freud say? What did Carl Jung say? And if you can't find that, then you're wrong, which is absolutely ridiculous and goes once again against free thought.
right,
But
absolutely,
this is why people have the belief that the height of intelligence is being able to reference studies or people with degrees or data or things along those lines. But that's absolutely not the case. This is just memorizing trivia. This is no different than the skill that it takes to win at Jeopardy. Just because you could win at Jeopardy does not mean that you are intelligent. It means that you know the answers to a lot of questions. It doesn't mean that you know facts. It means that you know the answers to questions. And sometimes those are not at all the same thing.
absolutely. I got another question for you, Jay. I know I'm gonna just throw them at you. As
Fuck
I
it.
Yeah, I got these things that I pretty much know the answer to, but I already know that you are gonna give it to them straight. Not that I won't, but this is the show. This is our dynamic, right? Jay, does anyone I told you. Why are you laughing, man?
Whenever you started off with "Does anyone?" it's about to be some wild shit. But I'm
No,
here for
no,
it.
no, no, no. It's just a simple question.
All
Just a
right, that's
simple
what's up.
question. But do you know of anyone who learns the easy way? Has there ever
No,
has there anyone is there in the history of people, has anyone learned the easy way? Never, right?
absolutely not.
Never
No,
happened,
because
right?
people refuse.
Yeah,
For the most part, people don't learn until they experience some degree of consequence.
it's crazy.
Now,
Oh,
the degree to which the consequence needs to be might vary from person to person, but as a whole, no, people don't. See, this is the thing that people have. This is why people find themselves in a situation where it's like, well, my boyfriend's cheated on me 8 times. Well, because nothing happens. So he has no reason not to. All he's learned every time is that if he says sorry enough, then it's okay.
perfect,
He's had no cost.
perfect. No one ever learns the easy way. So I say that to say, because I tell my oldest daughter, she thinks shit is easy. Like, um, oh, I didn't get promoted yet, or I didn't get this yet, I didn't get $1 million yet. You have to learn nothing is easy. No one's
Nothing
ever
worthwhile.
nothing worthwhile is easy. Nothing. It's nothing. And nothing comes easy. Nothing. I can't think of one person who learned the easy way, who just the first time was like, all right, I'm good. I don't have to go through any trials, tribulations, any scars, any batters, any bruise, getting battered up. I'm just gonna coast. I don't know one person, one successful person, even one regular person. No one has ever learned the easy way. It's gonna be hard. Everything's gonna be hard. And once you get that through your mind, Jay, and this for the people out there, once you get through your mind that everything's hard, you'll be all right, man. You don't try to look for the easy way out because you know everything's hard. Even the easy way out. Even the thought that you had in your mind that you think it's easy. I'm a look at this, Jay. I'm a not work and sell drugs. That's the easy way out. There's no easy way out, man. That doesn't even sound easy now that I repeat it back to myself.
It
It's,
sounds easy till you wind up in somebody's trunk.
yeah, right. Right. It's nothing's easy, man. Nothing's easy. I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna take this super drug, or I'm gonna do this. It's not easy, man. Even the super drug is not easy. You're gonna destroy yourself, destroy your body, destroy your whatever. Nothing's easy, man. And once you people realize that everything is hard, I think you'll begin to live a better life and wake up in the morning and say, man, listen, shit gonna be hard today, man. Everything, and I'm gonna deal with it.
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest problems that most people have is at the end of the day, there is no such thing as an easy life. Now, it just really depends on when do you want your life to be difficult. Do you want your life to be difficult now, or do you want your life to be difficult later? Because if you want to get in shape, your life is going to be difficult now, and that's going to get better as you get in shape. But if you don't want to get in shape, your life's going to be easy now. You could just lay around, do nothing, eat a bunch of food. But then down the road, when you are 350 pounds, life is going to get very, very fucking difficult for you. The easy path leads to difficult shit. The difficult path leads to less difficult shit.
Yeah.
Still difficult shit as a whole. Everything is hard. Everything is a challenge. Everything is difficult. And everything worthwhile takes work to acquire. Otherwise, everybody would have it, and then it would no longer be worth anything. It's more difficult to get a Lamborghini than it is to get a Honda, which is why what gives Lamborghinis more values than Honda. They cost more money. Nobody would give a fuck about a Lamborghini if they cost the same price as a Honda, because then everybody would have them, and they would mean absolutely nothing. Value and rarity go hand in hand. This is why diamonds are expensive because, well, at least they say there's not very many of them. Who the fuck knows? But the point is,
They
diamonds appear
lie.
to be scarce, and this is what makes them worthwhile. Rocks are everywhere. Nobody gives a fuck about them because you could just go out there and find them. Someone with abs looks better than someone who's fat because there are less people with abs than there are people who are fat. Even when people like to say back in the day, being fat was once considered a status symbol. Yes, because there were like 12 foods in the world, and it was very, very difficult
To
to
get
become
fat.
fat. Everybody couldn't do it. As soon
Right.
as there became an abundance of food, then everyone could get fat, and it didn't mean anything anymore. So even at the one point in time when being fat was seen as a good thing, it was still the difficult thing to do. It was harder to be fat because where the fuck were you getting food from? There's like
and
8 things to eat.
and you had to be probably wildly successful to be fat back in the days. You had to have
Lots of
money.
money.
You
Only
had to have
fat
money.
people could be rich. I mean,
Yeah,
only rich people could be fat.
yeah. Now it's the other way around.
Everybody could be fat. Everybody is fat,
Everybody is fat,
at least in America.
at least in America. Because at the end of the day, Jay, we believe all the lies. Everything that's being told to us, we believe it, and we believe it wholeheartedly. There's a certain passion that we believe these lies with, which is frustrating to people
And
like us
defend them.
and defend them. Yeah, it's frustrating. Um, what are you gonna do, right? I used to get frustrated and say, we got to change shit and this and that. Jay, fuck them. If you're not willing to change or think critically, fuck you, man. You deserve
1000%.
you deserve everything you're gonna get.
It
Fuck.
is incredibly infuriating trying to tell people facts that will help them, and they get mad at you and reject it, and then argue with you with lies and nonsensical things that don't even actually make sense. And at some point, it's like, why am I fucking trying? Like, if you want to be eaten by this wild animal you're in the room with, then why am I wasting my time telling you to look behind you and you're going to get attacked if you refuse to do so? Because
Mm,
you're like, nope, the TV says I'm fine. Everything's good now. So, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like why are we sitting here trying to tell you to save yourself when you're like, nope, I'm cool with dying because they told me this was okay.
right. How about so why wouldn't you believe just the same way you believe all these lies and all these other things that you see on social media and in the news and TV? Why wouldn't it be why wouldn't you believe something that we say or it's and I can't even it's not like I could name names. I don't even want to name names because I'm because these people are becoming characters too, and I don't believe anyone anymore, Jay. I don't have reverence for a lot of these people that so-called are speaking the truth and thinking critically. Now it's kind of now there's an agenda behind your critical thinking, which always tampers with the message. Once there's an agenda, the message gets tampered with. And that's when I start to see and I start to say, I can't big up this person, I can't big up this person because they have an agenda.
Yeah, it becomes very difficult to figure out who is legitimately believes what it is that they're saying. And there are some people who I will see say certain things. It's like, wow, this makes sense. And then you hear them say another thing, and it's like, well, that's clearly fucking stupid and wrong. What are you talking about? Let's take who's the little Mexican dude. Uh fuck is his name? Nick Fuentes.
Fuentes, yeah.
I've seen him say I see random little clips of things of him saying stuff and I'm like, this makes perfect sense what you're sitting here saying. But then then I'll sit there and see him say that he thinks that the fucking I forgot the dude's name, Tyler Robinson or whatever the fuck killed Charlie Kirk. And I'm like, this that doesn't even make any sense. That's clearly not true.
Yeah.
So then you have to sit there when you see this, you have to be like, well, what does this say about everything else that you're saying now?
That's
Because
what I'm talking about.
either you're so stupid that you believe what is obviously a lie, not even a good lie. Obviously, you are so stupid that you believe, either you're so stupid that you believe this, or you're saying what you're told to say, which then begs the question, what else were you told to say?
Well, let me ask you this, Jay, because a lot of that shit is satirical. Most of it is. And people like us are supposed to sift through these things and find the gems and all this other shit. Um, for instance, like a Charleston White, he openly says that I just say a whole bunch of crazy shit to get attention. Then I give you some real shit, and because y'all never want to pay attention to when I'm saying some real shit, so I'll just mix it in with all the bullshit, and there you have it. Um, so a lot of this stuff is satirical, and we're meant to sift through it. But I don't know, Jay, because the narrative behind this stuff is like, all right, I want attention. I need clicks and views, and of course you want to bring attention to the real stuff. But there is a certain tact you can use other than saying a whole bunch of ignorant shit to get people to draw people to your message, right? There is other ways, right? Other effective ways. There should be. I don't know any, but I mean, I haven't thought of this. I haven't it's not well it hasn't been well thought out, but I just get it upsets me sometimes when I see someone who is clearly intelligent and then they mix in their messages with bullshit. I know why they're doing it. Of course, you know why they're doing it, and you can sift through what's clear and what's not, and easily people like us we could easily sift through it. But most people can't.
This- I mean, this is true, and that's part of the thing. Like, I'll say things sarcastically sometimes, and there are a bunch of people who take it completely seriously, and
Right.
I'm absolutely baffled when they do, because I'm like, this is clearly sarcasm, but that speaks a lot to where the world is at today. That you hear certain things that, or I'll say certain things that I believe to be completely outlandish and ridiculous and cannot be taken seriously, and then people will respond as though I'm stating my legitimate beliefs here. But I think that there's a difference when you look at, like, if you use we're using Charleston White as an example, is the type of people that Charleston White speaks to and the message that he's trying to convey is very different than when you take the Nick Fuentes thing, right? Like, he's a political
Mhm.
commentator. He's talking about the state of the world and who it is that you should blame for certain things, whereas Charleston White is aiming his message at a very specific group of people that has to do a lot more with taking individual responsibility of your own lives. So when he filters his message through a bunch of ridiculous shit, because these type of people like to hear ridiculous shit, and he's doing it for the people who will catch the gems, that's very different than what Nick Fuentes is doing, because he's again speaking about power structures more or less, and he's trying to shape how people view the world as
I
a
would
whole.
I would say I would say what's different about that is the objective from each person. I think they're doing the
Yes.
same thing. I think the objective is different.
Yeah, their tools are the same, but it's what they're trying to build is
Yeah.
different. Because it'd be like the same thing if I go there and I'll sit there and say some wild shit about fat people trying to get people to go to the gym, right? That's very different than me going up there and saying something about some Democrat Republican bullshit that's clearly false and lies, and trying to throw that in there with some stuff about the truth.
But it still draws attention.
This is true. But see, so there are a lot of people who I think just want attention,
Mhm.
but for the most part, I don't feel like those are the people who are spread. Like, if you look at the streamers, right? You look at Kai, whatever the fuck his name
Mhm.
is, and the one with the names with the letters is his name, D.
DDG, I think. I don't.
Sure, that guy.
Yeah.
Or the little white Mexican boy, Aiden Ross, and them
Even wrong.
motherfuckers, right? Like, they clearly just want attention.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they don't talk about anything real at all.
No.
They just do dumb shit.
But but
So
but isn't it all isn't the point of it all? What's the point?
so I think that so
Attention, right? Has
yes,
to be.
but I think it's two different avenues, right? Because there's one thing of wanting attention to have people look at you, and there's another thing of wanting attention to have people hear what you're saying.
Thing, yeah, yep.
Those are two very different things. And
Mhm.
I think that Charleston White is looking for attention because he wants people to hear what he's saying.
Thing, yep.
So he has to go about it in the method that will again draw the most attention to him, so people who will receive his message can get it. Whereas, like, Aiden Ross wants attention for the sake of having attention. I
Attention,
mean,
yeah.
obviously streams make money and
Money,
all of that stuff, but
yeah,
he has
money,
no
yeah.
message.
Right.
As Because we can sit here and say the same thing. I post stuff. Yes, I want attention, but I want people to hear what I'm saying. And I need them to pay attention to me so that they can hear what I'm saying. But if I just wanted attention for the sake of attention, I go do a fucking TikTok dance or some weird shit like that.
Well, here's the elephant in the room, Jay. The difference, there is differences, but the one constant in the situation is money. So the more attention, the more. I mean, that's just the facts. Streaming is money. The more you stream, the more attention you get is money. Even though if you want to draw people to your message, or you want to draw people to yourself being goofy, or you want to draw, but the whole point. So that's why I said when I began this thing, when I said the uh the objective, what are people's the objective gets skewered when
See,
you
yep.
yeah, when you're dealing with big bucks now. When you're dealing with big bucks, so a Nick Fuentes, his platform makes money, man. It has to
Yeah,
continue to make money. So
and then but see that there you go. And then there comes the question with him though, right? Is to what degree, what does he care about more, money or message?
we'll never
And
know.
that's where the problem comes in when
That's
you
where
have
the
the but
yeah,
see this is why I go, or even if it's not money, maybe it's power, maybe it's influence,
right.
maybe it's you got to a certain point and he was told you have to play this game or you're
Yep.
going to get canceled, arrested, whatever the case may be. And he said, nope, I'm good with that.
Mhm.
But this is why I sit there and I look at the certain individual points, right? These, like he said about the thing with the Tyler Robinson who killed him. He believes that. So then you think,
You think he really believes that?
fuck no. I think he said he believes it. He said he believed it,
Yeah.
and but see, that's where my alarm goes off in my mind. With if you're saying this is clearly not true, that's ridiculous. First
Yep.
and foremost, I've shot guns. You've shot guns. I don't know if you've ever shot a hunting rifle and or that
No,
30-06 that they were talking about. So when you
no.
get so I worked at a gun store. I sold guns for a little bit in North Carolina. But when you get to these big bore hunting rifles that they have, right? These big ass, the 50 calibers, the 30-06s and the 338 Lapuas and shit like that. These knock down walls and
Yeah.
bricks.
They're knocking off
Like
limbs and shit.
this is what I'm saying. These are the types of shit like you can shoot the axle out of somebody's car.
Mhm.
So the idea that he didn't get his whole entire body exploded is absolutely ridiculous. He
Yeah.
would have been nothing.
That's
Like
what
if
I'm
you
saying.
could look at it, you could look at an exit wound of this, and this is whole
Uh,
shit knocked off.
yeah, you're
So
knocking limbs off with that.
this is what I'm saying. If you ever seen somebody get hit with an AK-47, which is a much smaller bullet, it's a little
You
7.62.
could knock limbs off. This nigga knock limbs off.
People, man, people get hit in the arm and walk around with their shit halfway dangling off.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
this is, and that's a much bigger bullet than that.
Mhm.
But the point is, separate from the ins and outs, that's clearly not true. So he's clearly saying that because he has to say that,
Yep.
which again begs the question: what of the rest of this do you have to say too?
Yeah. I mean, can it just be a fucking idiot trying to make a hot take? Yeah, could it just be a hot take? His hot take, which is nonsensical, but s- but
So this
but
is
a lot of these hot takes is fucking nonsense. A lot of
they
them.
are. But see, the problem is a lot of people say shit because it's dumb shit. And it's outlandish and outrageous, and again, it gets attention. But the problem comes is when people who speak a lot of sense say
There
outrageous
you go.
shit.
That's what
And
I'm
then you
trying to
have to
say.
wonder.
That's what I'm trying to
Then you
say.
have to wonder, you're an intelligent person. You seem perceptive. You seem to have common sense. You seem to be a critical thinker. How are you saying this?
Why
This
would
is
you
dumb.
say
This
that?
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, why would you
Exactly.
say that?
Why would you say that? And I think one of the biggest problems that people have, and the reason that people are allowed to get away with so much, is because people think that the government and the politicians are idiots. They think that they are incompetent and dumbasses. And that is why they are allowed to get away with so much shit. Because what looks like incompetence to you is actually their plan. Like what's the saying? A wise man could play the fool, but the
Yeah.
fool can't play
Can't
the
play
wise
wise,
man.
man. Nope. Very accurate. Very true. Very true.
And what do we say all the time? If you're seeing something, they want you to see it.
You're saying
If
it for a
we are
reason.
seeing stupidity, It's because they are intentionally showing us stupidity.
which is that's all we see. That's all we see. Um, Jay, I wonder. I don't know if I know you didn't. I know you didn't, and I haven't.
Mm.
So I'm, and I don't even know why I'm gonna bring it up because I know it's gonna.
Fuck it.
Yeah. So I did Diddy's documentary, right? Um, yeah,
Okay.
it's just
I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
I didn't see it. I probably wife was watching it, probably seen like 15 minutes of it, and was like, this is stupid. This is dumb. People are gonna watch it, but it's stupid. I know you didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, so I don't really have much to say on it. But I found it interesting that a lot of people's views on it was um because I seen some people saying, "Hey, man, 50, 50 produced it or whatever. This is fucked up. Mind your business, or why kick a man while he's down and all this other stuff." And then I see people coming to say, I've seen people say, it's crazy how you could focus on 50 cents and while this guy in the documentary is getting away with all this crazy. I'm like, I still don't know what he did illegal. I still don't know yet. Like, I know he did a lot of shit, but I just don't know what shit that I wouldn't do, like shit that I don't like, but I don't. Yeah, he hit the woman Cassie, but she settled out, right? She got a whole shitload of money. Then what else is there after that? I still I don't get it, Jay. This dude did more time. They gave him what, 50 months. Michael Jackson's killer did 18 months, dog. Conrad Murray did 18 months for killing the most famous man on the planet. What the fuck
Well, he
did
was
he do?
supposed to do that.
Well, why isn't there a documentary on him? I would love to see that one.
So,
Who's producing that? Hey, 50, could you produce that one? That's the one I want to see. I'm just
so
saying. I don't know.
that's hilarious because I've been thinking the exact same thing. So I have not followed the Diddy case mostly because I don't care. I've also not seen the Diddy documentary for the exact same reason. But I have wondered the same thing whenever I see anybody talking about Diddy. It He's had weird sex parties. Okay, that's fine. He has a bunch of baby oil and shit in his house. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's weird. He had a messed up relationship with Cassie. Okay,
Yep.
yes, I
Yeah.
understand. Yes, there was the video of him hitting her, but that was from 10 years ago.
Yes.
So this has been a thing. Yes, he signed people into shitty record deals. I
Mhm.
understand that. Yes, he cheated people out of their money. Okay, I
Yep. Yep.
understand
Yep.
that. He did these types of things, but through all of this, I'm still unclear
What he
why
did,
he's in jail.
I don't know.
Does he seem to be a bad person? Yes.
Yeah.
But does that make him a criminal? No. And this is the thing, and this is the problem that people have is they'll take this stuff and just go off accusing people of all of these other crimes. As far as I'm aware, there's no direct proof that not 50 Cent, Diddy killed Tupac. As far as I'm
No.
aware, this is a speculatory thing.
It's
People have the
speculatory. Yep.
speculations about him grooming Justin Bieber, but as far as I'm aware, there's no real proof of this, and Justin
He
Bieber
didn't get
hasn't
charged
said
with
that.
that. He didn't get
So
charged with that.
this is the thing. This is the problem that people have now is they think that because they don't like somebody that they somehow deserve to be in jail. Because I see a bunch of people saying they're talking about he deserves to be. If he did anything illegal, if he committed any crimes, absolutely he should go to jail for
Yeah.
the crimes that he committed. But I'm still unclear
Me too.
on what his crimes were supposed to be. Being into weird sex stuff is not a crime.
He was
It's
like
not a crime.
he was had the RICO. They get him with the RICO charge. Like,
Yeah, it's like I'm not. That's the
I
thing.
don't
The whole
know.
entire time I've been unclear on what illegal he has been accused of. And I know people will hear this and they will sit there and be like, "You're defending predators." If
No.
he's a predator, I don't condone this. If he's a predator, specifically, I don't. People keep talking about minors, but I haven't seen anything about minors.
Nope.
But people keep talking. If he is a predator on minors, yes, absolutely, he should be in
Put him
jail for
away.
that.
Yeah, put him
But I
away.
haven't seen. I haven't seen that take place.
I don't
I
give a
have not
fuck.
seen
People
the
say
crime.
all
I
this.
don't care about Diddy's weird sex life. Quite honestly, I don't care about Diddy signing people into fucked up contracts. Does that
No.
suck? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is a two-way thing. It's the same thing where they had the dude back in like the thing back in the day with the Nigerian princes. Should you scam people like that? No. But if you're a dumbass who receives an email from someone who says they're a Nigerian prince and you give them your bank account number and they steal your money, well, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
Should they do it? No. But you shouldn't have fallen for it either. So like at some point, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's fucked up, but is it a crime? Like, what did he do?
And
I'm unclear.
I bring that up to say this, Jay. You know, I don't give a fuck about Diddy.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't, like you said, if the crime fits, he did a crime, you just send him to jail, whatever. He gets
He
out,
should
whatever.
pay for his crimes if he committed them.
Yeah, but there's a deeper point for me. Um, and that's why I brought up, Conrad Murray, and there's a whole bunch of people that probably deserve a documentary, right? And it's and I, I like 50 Cent. I like 50 Cent as a rapper, entrepreneur, kinda. Good old alcohol. You can keep slinging that. But
Got them headphones.
headphones, yeah, give us some headphones, some alcohol. He's made himself look. We're talking about a guy that came from nothing and became something. So I'm always going to champion that. But this I can't champion unless you keep it 100% with everyone, right? Everyone should get the same treatment, not just Sean Combs. Um, and I say all that to say, sometimes the attention and the money sometimes not worth it. I just think he's being used for a bigger part. I don't know if he realizes it. Oh, I'm gonna make a documentary. Hey, 50 here, we'll just bankroll you. Put it on Netflix. It'll be great. But would he get the same response if he came to whoever he had to go to and say, listen, I got this documentary on Conrad Murray, or I got this documentary on the Holocaust, or I got this documentary
Oh,
on.
you wouldn't be allowed to put that one out.
That's what I'm saying. But
Not if
these
it's truthful.
no, really like a real one,
Yeah,
like a
not
real one.
coming out.
So, I mean, you could listen, you could choose to do whatever you want to do. This is just my opinion. Um, not just kicking a man while he's down. Why don't you kick everyone while they're down? How about you kick the people deservingly need to be kicked? Sometimes they need a kick too, right? Sometimes not that Diddy didn't deserve to get kicked. I'm just mean sometimes kick the person that really needs a fucking kick in the ass. Or even try, but here's the thing, Jay, like you said, you wouldn't be allowed to do that. You're allowed to kick Sean Combs.
Yes.
You're allowed to kick him. And just because you're allowed to do it doesn't mean you should do it. That's all I'm saying. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but you're allowed to do it. So why don't you try doing, and I'm not just talking to 50 Cent specifically, I'm talking about anyone with the power to do something. Why don't you try doing it to someone that you're not allowed to do it to? Why don't you try shocking the world, shocking
Yeah. See how
entertainment?
quick. See if you ever make another film again.
Let's see that. Let's see that. You got you big guy, big tough. Let me see you make a documentary on someone you ain't allowed to do.
So I have two thoughts. The first one, I've seen a bunch of people sitting there saying 50 Cent doesn't actually care about justice or Diddy's victims or anything like that. And I fully agree, because at the end of the day, here's the thing. 50 Cent came in on infinite beef with everybody.
Yeah.
And he has never been the type to be like, Irv Gotti died and he made fun of him. Like,
And
he don't give a fuck.
I said, listen, man, that man had beef with him. He had beef, real beef. That's the way. Hey,
But this is what I'm saying. So 50, I think kind of 50 seems to be of the train of thought of the 48 laws of power, crush
Yeah.
your enemies
Yep.
completely and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yep.
And whoever is sitting here misunderstanding this as 50 Cent trying to stand up for somebody is completely misunderstands 50 Cent. He doesn't fuck with Diddy, and he took this opportunity to
Stomp on
get
them.
one up on Diddy. That's
Yeah,
it.
stomp
Now,
on 'em.
was 50 Cent being used for that because he was pushing a narrative that they wanted him to?
That's my
Absolutely.
point.
Do I
Yeah.
think 50 Cent gives a fuck if he knows? No, I
No.
don't think that he cares. Because at the end of the day, I think that what 50 Cent truly cares about is 50 Cent, and that's perfectly fine. That's his
Yep.
prerogative.
Yep.
But as far as the other thing goes, which I think most people don't understand and realize, Diddy was not exposed. Diddy did not get found out or uncovered. He was not doing these things. Might have been whatever it is he was doing was a secret to y'all, not
Yes.
to these people.
Yes.
You think the FBI just now found out, whoever the
No.
fuck arrested Diddy just now
No.
found out what he was doing? No, it was just his time to get arrested for it. Maybe this was always the plan. Maybe he ran afoul of somebody. But the
Yep.
point is, whatever it is that Diddy has been doing, everyone who needed to know has known for
Long
forever.
time.
And
But
this is just the time in which they decided to do something about it. Again, whether that's because this was just his time or whether he ran afoul of somebody, don't know. But they decided he was going to jail at this time, which is why they released his Cassie footage 10 years later. When they had it 10 years ago, it wasn't
mhm.
his time to go to jail. It wasn't
Mhm.
his time for you to hate him.
Yeah, more
That
money to
was
make.
not exactly. He had more stuff to do. He had a bigger role to play. He no longer does,
Yeah.
which is why they released this shit now. So when people are sitting here talking about the justice for him and people finding out and standing up for him and caring about it, has nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
This is a big thing because they want it to be a big thing. They made this trial into a big ass spectacle because they wanted you to pay attention to it. They made 50 Cent's documentary and pushed it out because they wanted you to pay attention to it. Not a single thing. 50 Cent has made dozens of movies and TV shows, and not a single one of them are on Netflix. But this was a Netflix special
That's my
because
point.
they wanted you
Just
to
see it.
fucking
Yeah.
see it.
That's
This, and
true.
people still do not understand this. Back in the day when they talk about the shit, bread and circus, that's what this is. This is a thing for you to pay attention to. You were to watch Diddy, you were to think this thing about Diddy. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yep. And listen, man, I'm not against well yeah, let me say this. I'm not against playing the pawn. I'm not a pawn, but I'm not against anyone who shit, especially when you're, you know, uh tens of millions of dollars in your pocket, you could play that pawn and be okay with it. And I'm not against it. Um, I'm not against it. I me personally, I'm just not a I'm a fucking rebel, man. I'm gonna just go against the grain all at all times. Matter of fact, as we speak in this, we need to get where is Conrad Murray? I would like to. I see. Candace always talks about Michael Jackson's death, but no one ever. I've never seen anyone ask about this man. Anyone. Candace Owens, oh, yeah, Michael Jackson, the Jews killed him. The Jews killed him. Where's the guy? I just keep asking this question, Jay, because I'm curious. I have a curious mind, and maybe these curious minds need to be outed at some point if we get large enough. Because I just like to ask questions that nobody likes. Like, where the fuck is this guy? Like, can we talk to him? Could we get him on a podcast? I've seen mad people on. I just seen. See, Max B just came home, and I just seen Vlad have the girl who was sent to do the crime or the murder. He had her on the podcast. I just seen this. I was like, what the fuck? And the girl is speaking about the crime. I'm like, he did 10 years, he's out, and now this is a topic. And now you get all the people involved on the podcast, and they're talking about someone losing their life 10 years ago, which is unfortunate. But I say that to say you can get anyone on a damn podcast. or an interview or fucking Oprah or something. Is he still alive, Jay?
I have two thoughts. I'm gonna go with the shorter one first, and that is the DJ Vlad thing. See, this is the problem with the culture, right? People are so quick to complain about everyone else being a culture vulture or exploiting black people and all of this whatnot, but everyone keeps going on DJ fucking Vlad, and everyone keeps watching the people who go on DJ Vlad. And he is a huge symptom of what is, well, not even a symptom, he is a reflection of everything that is wrong with this culture. Because you sit here, some random ass white dude who interviews all of these people and gets them to highlight their crimes and all of this, and all of you people complain about it, but fucking love it. They sit there and they want to hear about all of this shit. They just want to hear about people committing crimes and doing dumb shit.
Is he so
Absolute.
random?
Hmm?
Is he so random?
Oh, he absolutely no, absolutely not. Again, this
How
is
you
the
said random? I'm like, no, he's random,
what
man.
appears to be a random white dude. But that's a whole nother topic. But the point is,
Whitish. Come on now, leave it alone.
I wasn't even saying nothing
Yeah,
about
yeah. My bad. My bad. I'm just saying,
I
Jay.
wasn't even saying shit.
I mean, he is. I'm not.
Oh man,
Oh,
Kanye was right before he apologized. Anyway. Oh
man, that dude was on to something, man.
man, the Kanye man, I'm hold on. It's a whole nother I'm gonna
Yeah,
pause.
it's hold on. And look, can I say something, Jay, before you go into this?
Yeah.
Because we, because we could be misconstrued as being some type of, I don't even want to say that, anti shit or whatever. That's just ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. We speak what we see, right? Yo, I have, and this is gonna sound crazy, Jay. I have a lot of Jewish friends, man. I have a lot of Jewish friends, man. I'm gonna just leave it at. I do, Jay.
No, no, let's
I got
no, no.
Jewish.
Here's the thing. Let's
I'm
let's
not. I'm
let's
not
live.
like that's not crazy for me.
But this is the problem here. This is the problem here. This is the problem, and this is part of the reason that word was created specifically for this bullshit. Because here's the thing: if I was to make the statement that alligators are white, that's true. There are white alligators. There are albino alligators, but all alligators are not white. Most alligators are green, right? But the problem is because most alligators are green, people will think that what I'm saying is wrong, even though it's a fact that there are white alligators. Now, imagine for a second that the albino, the white alligators, are more vicious and destructive than the green alligators, right? Then, when I come to talking about the alligators, I'm talking about alligators who are incredibly destructive, and it's the white alligators. It happens to be a small population of these white alligators, but they're still destructive ass alligators.
That's it.
And we need to do something about these alligators. That doesn't mean all the alligators are the
Yeah.
problem, but that means that alligators are causing a problem. But because most alligators are green and not causing that problem, people will sit there, or people have been conditioned rather, to act like you hate all alligators if you speak about the white alligators. They're all alligators, and alligators are causing a problem. It's not all of the alligators, though. They don't have anything against all of the alligators, but that doesn't mean that some alligators are not a problem. But again, people have been conditioned to sit there and say, focus on the majority of the alligators. No, because they're not the ones that are causing the problems. And I could sit there and observe. I like reptiles. I think reptiles are cool. I don't want to pet alligator or anything, but alligators seem cool to me.
That's
But
all.
that doesn't mean that some alligators aren't out here causing massive amounts of problems. And this is the point. And this is the problem, though. This is exactly why that word, along with these other things, are created. Because just like we say when we speak about black people and their problems
I was
running
about to
around
say
committing
that.
crimes, people will say it's not all black people. No
Yeah,
shit, it's not. But it's still fucking black people, though.
yeah. This
And this
guy.
is the point. And the fact
That's
that
what I
they're
was about to
black
say.
is relevant.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We could speak about black folks and Spanish people and Chinese people doing what people say they do, and we could say, "Yo, man, black people commit a lot of crimes. It's not all black
And they'll
people,
sit there, call you racist.
right? It's not all black people. It's just, but we could still say it and be okay with it. But the other thing is not so much. So it's like, all right, you know, Vlad is Jewish. Okay, it's a it's
That's a
that
fact.
it's a fact. is it a coincidence? He's just in in a position where he's taking advantage of a culture. Uh, I hate to say culture, but that's what, for lack of better terms, let's say culture. He's taking advantage of it, but he's not the only one. He's not the only one, right? I mean,
Here,
listen, man. If if I got a gang of 100 people, I got a gang of 100 people, and 10 of my gang are just viciously vicious. I gotta own as the rest of the 90, the other 90% of the gang. I gotta say, listen, man, the 10% of our gang is fucking vicious. It is what it is. How about we help to do something about it? That's all I'm saying. Or maybe it behooves you not to.
here's an interesting thing when you think about this, right? I often see people talking about black women are the most educated group in America. Now, I don't think that's a correct statistic, but let's just assume it is.
Who said that? I'm not. I
Black
know
people.
that sound. I know that sound crazy. I know that
I was
sound
gonna say, I don't
crazy.
think it's a true statistic, but the
I
point
don't think
is,
it is either. But it not. I'm
and
not.
they'll say,
I'm not saying that you're not black. All black women are not smart. I'm just saying I don't.
yeah, but see again, this it's not. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
believe it's Asian people is the
Yeah, yeah,
actual
yeah. Or Indians
most.
and whatever
Yeah, some shit like that. But this is the thing, though, right? There are all sorts of groups of people. Everyone likes to highlight their group's accomplishments in certain things, right? Like you could say 75% of the NBA is black. You could say 55% of the NFL is black. You could say X amount of Asians work in X industry, and they'll use this as a good thing. They do it with the Indians. X amount of
doctors.
Indians work in IT and tech and doctors and
Doctors.
whatnot. They are proud of the portion of their community that has made it to certain levels.
Well,
However, if you say that most of the people who own the record labels are Jewish, they call you racist for
man,
saying that. It's
man.
very interesting that they are the one group who are not even proud of what it is that they have accomplished in certain things. They're not proud of the fact that they hold most of the positions in banking or in law or in any of these things. And that's interesting. You have to think about it. Everyone else wants to highlight these things. Why do you want to call it hateful when we point this out? Why aren't you proud of it? Unless you don't want people to know. And then that begs the question of why don't you want people to know?
Hey yo, I ain't never think of that. I ain't never thought of that one, man. Hey man, hold on a second. I don't think anyone has ever said that. Ever.
Why are y'all not proud of what you've accomplished?
I don't think anyone's ever said that. That makes fucking a lot of why? Hold on, you just fucking open up another fucking spectrum of my fucking cerebellum over here. Hold on, let me adjust to that. Wow.
The people love to talk about the percentage of women who are doing certain things in the medical field. Everyone else wants to highlight their group. Why don't you? Why are you the only group of people who, when facts are pointed out about how much you've achieved in the banking sector, cries racism and says, stop saying that?
Damn, what the
It's weird.
why would they do that?
That's odd. Why would you not want people to know that?
Let me ask you a question. I started off by saying that I have a lot of Jewish friends.
Mm-hmm.
You think it'd be appropriate to ask one of them this?
I think you have to.
I just want I need to know. I need to know, Jay. I never heard why. Why aren't you
Why don't
proud?
you want people to know that?
Why is that an insult?
Especially you've been a marginalized group throughout history, right? Why don't you want people to know what you've managed to accomplish? Why don't you want to inspire your other brothers and sisters to do the same things that you have been doing?
It's crazy, Jay, because this thought came I didn't this thought materialized to me, not in quite in the manner that you put it, but it came to me maybe about 26, 20. maybe 30 years ago, and Imma tell you how. I think I told the story before, but I was working in this, popular department store or clothes store in Jersey City. It's called, Morley's, and the owner was Jewish. Um, and I must have been what I was 19 maybe, 18, 19 years old. I don't know I wasn't rapping, so I don't know how old I was. Probably was 18, 19, maybe 17, maybe I don't know. But anyway, he was in he worked in the store. Like he owned the store, but he was there every day. Old man, old dude, quintessential Jewish person. Uh, for real. Very tight. You squeeze a quarter until it cry. That type of yeah. So, all the stereotypes he fit it, right? And I remember one day in the store we used to play the radio and High 97, 105, whatever it was, and Benjamins came on. And Jadakiss famously said, "You should do what we do, stack chips like Hebrews." And I'm like, and I'm singing along with it, like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "What was that?" I was like, "Nah, that's Jadakiss, man. Stack chips like count. That's a good thing. You stack. That means y'all save your money. You stack." And he was like, "They should get that off the rate." He was furious, and I couldn't understand why. And I was like, "Dog, but Morley, we called him Morley." I'm like, "But that's a compliment." He was like, "They should ban this." Dog, he went on like a half an hour tirade, right? And I was like, "Okay, maybe it's just him, right?" So at this time, Benjamin's it's a big song, man. So it comes on often. I don't know how long after this episode happened, but the song came on again, right? I'm waiting for the part because I want to grind his gears a little bit. I'm gonna rap this part extra hard. You should do what we do, stack chips like Hebrews. So now I'm waiting for the part, and they cut the part out. And I looked up and I was like, wait, what happened to stack the chips? They cut it. It was like was it a curse? It wasn't a curse. You know how they edit the curses out?
Mhm.
They edited that part of the song out. You should do what we do, stack chips like Hebrews. Why would you edit that out? He didn't say anything wrong. That's when what you just said right there. That's why it hit me so hard.
Why don't you
Why?
want people to think that?
That's
It's
a
like,
good
remember
thing.
on 444, Jay-Z said, "Wanna know why the Jewish people own all the property in America?" And what did they say? Anti-Semitism. I heard that back then and I was like, "How? Why is this offensive?"
Why?
And they're like, "No, it's a harmful stereotype that you guys are good investors. That's weird. What an odd thing to be offended by. What an odd thing to not want someone to know." And then you have to, again, then you have to sit there and go, look, it's like the Asian people don't get mad when people say they're good at math. How dare you think I'm good at
Right,
math?
right.
They don't get mad about that.
No. Hey, y'all black motherfuckers, y'all run real fast and shit.
Nobody get mad about that.
Oh no, I run pretty fast.
But
Jump
see,
on y'all.
again, this is where this is. You see all of these people, Earn Your Leisure, and all of them highlighting 19% of this industry is
Right,
dominated by black. And they highlight it. It used to be 16, now it's 19. We're
right.
growing, and
Yep.
they're like, no, don't you dare say that. But it's true. No, it's hateful. Don't say that.
We gotta get down to the bottom of that. I don't
And
know.
then see, here's the thing, right? Imagine you go on vacation and you put the picture up, on your little Instagram. I was here in fucking wherever the fuck someone want, Greece or whatever, right? Because it's cool. I was here, or you're with your friend. They take a picture and they tag you, right? Now imagine you go there again, you take a picture of your friend and they don't want you to tag them in it. Don't post that on the internet. And you would wonder, why would you not want that? Because you don't want anyone to know that you were there. Which brings up the question, should you be here? And what are you doing here that you don't want people to know? Because it's a vacation in one sense, it's evidence in the other.
Well, I'll ask you this. Well, I already know the answer, but I always ask you questions that I know the answer to. Is there ever a good secret?
Mm.
What is there ever a good secret? Or something you wanna keep from some when they say secret society, is it
In the most literal sense, yes, there are good secrets. Like you want to surprise your wife or something, or it's a secret,
eh,
I guess.
yeah,
But by and large, when you want to keep something hidden, it's because it would be of detriment to you if people found out about it.
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
And
So
like we've talked about this before, the reason that secret societies are secret is because like their anonymity is their power. And some people are only strong because they're anonymous.
mhm. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, listen, Jay, you just blew my mind with that one, and I kinda I need it's like I need to know not the answer because 'cause you're not gonna get the answer. There's too many variables, too many players in the game, too many opinions, too many so you're not gonna get an answer, the correct
Well,
answer,
you
but I
can't.
I do want to know at least I will survey 5 Jewish people. I
Yeah,
will.
we're going to come back with this and dissect
I
whatever that
will
answer is
survey yes,
because
yes.
that is very interesting.
I
But,
I
you
gotta
know,
know, I take 'em so all my friends, if you see this and you're Jewish, just know that I'm going to ask you, why are you hiding your accomplishments as a people?
let's take this a step further here, right? People also say it's a harmful. Now, I'm not sitting here suggesting that the Jews run the world. I have different theories on that, but I'm not suggesting that. But people suggest that's a harmful stereotype. Like that's a problem as a stereotype. And that made me think it's only a harmful stereotype if the world is fucked up in ways that it shouldn't be.
Yep,
Because running the world is not bad if you're not doing anything bad with it.
that's what I yeah, pretty much. I mean, shit. You could blame me for running the world. I'll be like, hell yeah, I did. Yeah, that's me. Only if I'm doing a good job.
Only if it's going well. Now,
Only if
here's
it's
another thing. And this made me think. I thought of this a while ago. Like you say, there's certain things you could say certain stuff about black people. You could say certain stuff about Mexicans, the Asians, but the line seems to be with a certain, we're not going to say all Jews, just a certain subsect of the Jews. But that made me think, right? For a while, I thought focus on who you're not allowed to talk about, right? Why can't you talk about them? But then I thought it would make more sense to look at who nobody even mentions.
Mhm.
And that's very interesting. Like when you look at all of these things, you look at currently what they have for the most part is like some Christian versus Muslim stuff, right? Like some people talk about the Muslims are the problems, and then the right blames the Muslims, the left blames the Christians. There's a mixture of both of them who will say that the Jewish people are at fault. But and that just made me think, in all of these conversations, nobody ever talks about the Catholics and the Vatican people. They're not even a
No,
part of this. And that's interesting.
it's very interesting.
They're not even brought up.
The
But
church
they
has
pop up every little once in a while to commentate on some shit. They pop up to condemn what Israel was doing and go away. And you know what? Everyone who talks about Israel gets called anti Semitic, except the Vatican.
mhm.
They had nothing to say when the Vatican said something about it. That's interesting.
Listen, that I said the Vatican's I said there's a bar I had. I don't even wanna repeat it. But
I actually know what you're talking about because I heard that shit like the other day on
yeah,
some older
okay.
shit.
Okay, yeah. I always say something because the church always intrigued me. The history of it. History of it. Ooh, the history of the church, man. I don't think people understand the history of the church, man. They used to I mean, I'm talking about burning people at the stake, sacrifices, and I mean, this is a deep rooted history in the church and why it was invented and or put together. It's a deep history, crazy conversation to have, but I the Vatican, I've always been intrigued in their play and their role in how this all gets spun about. And listen, they've always been there. Here's the thing. They've
See,
always
this is
been there. I don't think people realize. That's why I said the history of it. They've always, and some might say even started with it.
so here's the interesting thing. If you look at Rome back in the day, Julius Caesar went and conquered most of the world. And I've always found it interesting that like the same thing happened with Britain, right? Like Britain once owned America and India and all of this other shit. I always found it interesting that these places who managed to conquer all these other countries somehow just randomly lost them.
Mhm.
And that made me think, did they ever actually lose them or did they just rebrand them?
Yep.
Like, has America ever not been a part of Great Britain? Was it just rebrand? That makes the most sense to me. I
Well,
believe that
well,
more than I believe Paul Revere and all of that shit.
is it a coincidence that every president has the bloodline? Their bloodline comes from.
British royalty.
I
Yes.
mean,
Now,
that's not a coincidence, Jay.
see, and then this made me think before Britain ruled everything, Rome did. Now, if I don't believe that Britain really lost all of these places, do I believe Rome really lost all of these places? Or did they just rebrand
Brandon.
because they understand they make themselves less of a target if they split their shit up differently? Much like how you look at there's one company that owns like hundreds of thousands of
Subsidiary.
companies underneath of it.
Yeah.
Now,
So who ran
in
Rome?
exactly
I
in
mean, I
Rome,
know.
in
Well,
Rome
you know.
exists the Vatican,
There you go.
this big ass building that is beholden
There you
to
go.
no laws, that has libraries and vaults that like two people have been in.
Yo, watch the Game of Thrones, man. Y'all people out here, y'all bugging. They showing you what they telling you what's happening, man. That's
Damn, I've ever seen that.
Jay. Look, I only I know I read a lot, but I can't read everything. So I watch shows, but I watch them differently than everybody else watches them. And in the Game of Thrones, they have like maybe a season dedicated towards uh,
The
you.
Vatican.
Yeah, something like that. And they're radicals and they're just they're radicals. And then they run shit. So I'm like, so that made me dive deeper. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, all right, let me yeah, it's a fiction show, but it has to come from somewhere. There's nothing new under the sun. You just can't invent something. You gotta get it from somewhere, right? So that made me dive deeper into the church and the Vatican and Rome. And I'm like, okay. And we always say in the show, like the history is written by the winner, right? Only the winners get to write history. So who's the winner? Who's still around from ancient?
Mm.
Who's still around? Who's still who?
What's the oldest shit here?
What's the one constant?
You
Do
know
we have
what?
to spell it out?
If we're gonna live in this little conspiracy rabbit hole, which we're gonna do right now, what I genuinely believe is you know, people talk about, you talk about Britain, you talk about America, you talk about all of this shit, and then Russia is enemy. I don't personally believe any of this shit is really different. I believe that the only thing, like the only true independent countries in the world is like North Korea and China.
Sound about right.
I don't believe a single other thing is
Sound about
independent
right.
from all of the rest of this shit. Not one bit of it.
And would you lump Africa with China? I,
I would say
or America?
I would see, but the thing is, China be all up in Africa building railroads and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's what I said.
So
That's why I said that.
maybe split between the two,
Yeah.
but That's what I'm saying. The only truly independent country,
Right,
though,
right.
I
Yep,
believe, is North Korea and China.
yep.
I don't buy that Russia and America are enemies. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it any I never
I don't
did.
believe that shit one bit.
I don't I I mean, do they disagree and like everyone else?
I think that's what they're told.
Yeah,
I don't, but I
I
don't
don't
believe in the shit. I just think
I think everything is
I,
just I think it's all the same, but
I don't believe any shit. I don't believe if I'm going further. I think what makes the most sense to me is all of these countries appear to be different because it's whoever the fuck little puppet masters is trying to figure out the best way to govern and rule people, and they're all just
yeah,
individual little experiments.
because you know what, Jay, and these conspiracies, they're fucking magnificent and logical. But then when you're dealing with people, and I just don't have that. Uh, I don't have that confidence in people. When you're dealing with people, plans go awry. Let's just say that. So if people are not as smart, they're just not smart. So even if you're the puppet master, you're doing all these things, you got too many people in place. It's like running a company and got a million workers. There's gonna be like there's gonna be 990,000 of those workers are idiots, and they're gonna fuck up,
Facts.
and they're gonna fucking fight, and this where these wars come from. It's like, yo, I told you not to do. Like, what are you doing? What are you sending missiles?
See,
What are you bombing there? We didn't sanction that. What the fuck are you bombing? Oh well, he called my wife a name. He fucked my wife, and I think we're giving these people too much credit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like these are regular stupid human beings, not the puppet masters. I mean, the millions of workers and little parts, and they're just idiots.
who are we considering the workers, the population of people, the masses, or like the
No,
higher ups?
the higher ups that work for the
But
like. All
see,
right,
and then
for instance,
this
like a Reagan, like he's not.
see this is
Guy's
the
an
thing. This is
idiot.
the thing, though. I think that a lot of these people are unaware of what it is that's going on beyond them.
That's
Like
true.
if you look at,
That's true.
we say all the time, right? As above, so below. If you look at Walmart, you have the employees, you got the stock room people, you got the cashiers, you got the store, whatever, the cleaners and all of that shit, right? And then above those people, you got like the shift managers and the store managers, and right then above that, you got general managers. Then above that, you got the regional manager, and then you go up to the corporate office, right? And then above there, you got the COO, you got the CEO, the CFO, and then above them, you have the board of directors. But if you look at the board of directors of a company, it's a bunch of CEOs of other companies and shit,
Yep.
right? So while the board of directors appears to be in charge of Walmart, they're not actually in charge of themselves.
Hmm.
They're beholden to other people. And it's just this outsourced off infinitely into other different things, right? And then again, you go all the way up the ladder, and then you find it's this one company that's in charge of everybody, but they're not individually governing everybody.
Right. But
You know
that's
what
where
I mean?
to me, that's where the problems lie.
Yeah. See, and then, but I believe that the government and the country, all of this shit is run the exact same way. Like the president and all of them is the CEO.
Yeah,
Congress is the board of directors, but they're beholden to other people as well.
of course. But here's the thing, right? And I get that. But then they're still, unless they're lizards like David Icke suggests. I don't know. Unless they're
I don't know.
lizards,
He said a whole bunch of other shit that made perfect sense.
he
Maybe
did.
they are
I
lizards.
mean, he said a lot of. He predicted. He predicted COVID and 9/11 and all that shit before even. That's another story. But he did say there's big lizard people. But unless they're lizard people, let's just say they're human, right? All right. For instance, you got a guy like Clinton, CEO, like you said, he's running a company. He's the president, CEO of the country. Somebody might on the outside looking in like that's our president. This guy's got a suit on, his hair's combed. Looks, he's like, this guy's a
That's the
CEO.
qualifications now.
Oh yeah, he got a Rolex on. This guy's a somebody. And then you bust in his office and he's getting a blowjob from the secretary. Like this is regular guys, man. Idiots. And he's like,
This is true.
oh my God, I did not do it. Like these guys are not brilliant. I don't, at least I don't think they are. Um, what I'm just trying to say is, are we giving those people too much credit? Because I haven't seen one guy that I'm like, that's a sharp guy. We got to watch out for him. That's
See,
a
that's
sharp
but
guy.
that's what Obama was.
I think he was sharp. I
But
think he was.
he was the biggest psyop of them all. But
Yeah,
he was a sharp,
yeah.
put together gentleman.
He might have been the sharp one of the sharp. He was one of the sharpest.
He was probably their peak creation.
Yeah, he was tight. He was tight. I ain't gonna lie, he was tight. He was tight. I, yeah, you're right. He was the one dude that I looked at like, oh, he's a good one. He's sharp. He could talk, he could dress, he could move. Oh, they got one with him. He's gonna fuck up a lot of people. You're
Yeah, because
right.
he was one who can actually talk on his own.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean, Jay. Now you get what I'm saying? They got him right. Like he was the
Yeah,
perfect
they tried to
piece.
recreate him with Kamala and fucked up
Right, they fucked
terribly.
it
She
all
was
up.
an idiot.
She's an idiot. An idiot. No swag,
But see,
no
this
type
is
of yeah, idiot.
what I think, though, as a whole, is more so than people needing to be sharp and effective, is they need to be the appropriate avatar for a certain percentage of the population. Like if you look at JD Vance, right? He's an idiot too.
Mhm.
But there are a lot of people who see themselves in JD Vance.
Yes, that's the thing now.
And that's what same thing with Bill Clinton, same thing with George Bush.
Yeah, Trump, come on, Trump too, man. A lot of
Trump as
people.
well. See,
Yeah,
yeah, he's still the one that I divide in half because 2016, I think he was a free person. Now he is
yeah.
not.
I mean, in the sense where people resonated, like the people saw
Yeah.
themselves in him. Like, oh, look, he like to grab ass and talk and curse and shit. Like that's me. That's
Yeah,
me.
he's one of us.
Right. That's what I
America.
mean.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Hmm.
he was peak. He was peak that. He was, oh, this guy talks like me, right? He talks shit. He likes women and he has money. Yeah, that I like that guy. I don't think people understood that. Oh, he's a piece of shit. Well, most of you are. Well, most of
Yeah,
you
so are
are.
you. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's what I mean. Like that's why he won. Fuck you. Because he's like
That's
you.
see, that's the thing that people don't get too is they sit there and they because everyone is so intent on making the other side to be some fucking evil, nefarious. Like people were like sitting there talking about everybody who supports Trump is you can't
That's whack.
respect them because they support
That's
racism and
whack.
pedophilia. It's like this is
Yeah.
not what anybody thinks, you idiot. And this is the problem. This is why no one can do anything because nobody can take an objective look at what's going on and sit there and understand what other people the fucking Republicans have the issue too because like oh you support baby murder. No one is taught. They're not suggesting that they just want to murder babies. And it's like the other side.
No.
Well, you want to police women's body. No one is saying these things, but people can't look outside of their own narratives, and that's the
Mhm.
problem.
Yep.
This is why people get tricked so easily.
Yes, sir. You
It's
gotta
fucking ridiculous,
you gotta think objectively, man. It's
but they
okay.
can't.
It's okay. It's you know what? It's okay to change your mind also. It's okay to be like, hey man, I liked him, now I don't. uh, or
But
I
here's
didn't like
the
him. I didn't like him, now
now
I
I do.
do. It's
But here's
okay.
the they won't do that. They can't do that because they're not allowed to because their sides are enemies and they must be against them for forever. And it's fucking stupid. But the most important thing is if anybody wants shit to change and get better, the only way to do that is through non-participation because none of this shit is real. Like this whole the Democrats and power, it's not real. This isn't a thing. This is fucking WWF. You're sitting here arguing about whether you want The Rock or Stone Cold to win when it's long been scripted by some people you don't even know exist.
They gonna run. The Rock gonna run.
Yeah, and he's gonna
Gonna
win
run.
because that's what was determined to be. None of this shit is not fucking real.
It's
None of
not.
it's real.
It's
You
not
think
real.
that it just so happened to turn out that only people who were related to this person became the president? That's absolutely
No,
insane.
no one
You think
even
that's
mentions it.
chance?
No one mentions that. It
The,
baffles me that no one mentions that every president, except for two, there was two presidents that hasn't that doesn't that didn't come from the bloodline, so they say. William Johnson. Well, the nigga had name last name was
Yeah, it's some
Johnson.
dude named like Myron or Marvin or Melvin or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the Johnsons. Nigga last name was Johnson, so you know he wasn't really.
But
Nigga last name was Johnson. You know he wasn't in the bloodline, but
the
it,
shit that people just overlook is absolutely fucking baffling. And here's the thing too. For all these people sitting here going back and forth about this, when you look at politics, what has really changed? Like these
nothing,
parties switch back and forth every 4 to 8 years. What has legitimately, truly changed?
nothing.
Yes, gay people can get married now. Whoop de fucking do. Yes, abortion is legal, but also not. Whoop de fucking, like legitimately for real. What has changed? Taxes got higher, inflation is higher, houses cost more, gas. The shit has just been going up steadily since back in the day. What's changed?
And it never will. You know, Andrew Tate says. So he says something. I'll be scrolling, and he's often in my algorithm for whatever reason. Because right, probably the reason because I like most of the shit he says. Probably that's why. Um, he said he said something about the Jews because we was just talking about the Jews. He was like, the Jews are not the reason you're fat. You can go to the gym.
Yeah, they didn't stop you from going. That's
They ain't stopping. Like when we say these things, it's not that we're not blaming your mishaps and we're not blaming your mishaps on a certain demographic of people. We're
there are
just
two
talking shit.
layers.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers, but listen, they're not forcing you to stay home and eat potato chips and be broke. You can go do your thing, man. Go do your thing.
Is it? I feel like I said something similar a while ago, but fucking Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are not the reason you're poor or fat.
No,
This is absolutely ridiculous. They didn't make you, like you said, not go to the gym. They didn't make you sleep in. They didn't make you spend all day playing video games. They didn't
no,
make you blow all of your money on Jordans. They're not making you shoot your fucking neighbors. No,
no,
nobody is making you do this. You are
no.
choosing to do this. And again, this is what we just said a second ago. The only way that anything is going to improve is non-participation in the fucking system. Stop looking for these motherfuckers to go and fix some shit. Stop participating in their stupid little
Hate
back
it.
and forths. Stop supporting any of this shit. Go to the fucking gym, read some goddamn books, figure out how to make some money, teach your kids non-ignorant shit, and set them on the right path. Take care of your fucking family. Like this is you will be fine if everyone just does this. Eat real food. Stop going to the like people sit there and they bitch. Well, they put all these chemicals in the food. Don't buy those fucking foods. Like, what is your problem? This is the wildest shit. You see the chemicals they put in food. Don't eat them.
It
What are you talking about?
that might be the biggest psyop of all time. The way that we perceive food. Not even might be. That is the biggest psyop of all time, Jay. We got a list of what we gotta have our top 5 psyops. That's my number one, man. Because I'll give you an example. The other day, my daughter had a good day at school. My wife's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give her a treat.
Mm.
I'm gonna give her a treat." I said, "Oh, a treat?" We texting. You hear me? She hears me. Well, you about to hear this. My wife said, "I'm about to get her." Jason laughing at you. She said, "I'm about to give her about to give her a treat." I said, "A treat? Okay, what's a treat? Might get some chicken nuggets." That ain't that's not no treat. That's a treating them bad. That's not a treat. That's a psyop. But I don't want to just. I'm not throwing my wife under the bus because my daughter eats crazy healthy. She only drinks water and shit. Like can't even give her juice or sugar or whatever. That's why she's such a calm kid. But I just found that to be crazy that we could still think stuff like that is a treat or a snack or a reward. You reward your child with poison, literally,
Yeah,
literally poison, and we
and
call it
that
a treat.
yeah. I've had a long day. I deserve this
I
meal.
deserve this drink, this poison.
Yeah,
That's not a
that's a
psyop.
great fucking point.
That's not the biggest psyop of all time. What
This
trickery?
is people, yeah, because people will be like, man, everything is rough right now, so I need to smoke this weed or drink this alcohol to make myself feel better. Or exactly like you said, the kid needs a treat. Let's go get some ice cream cones and shit. And it's teaching people to associate shit that's bad with them as a reward, or shit that's bad for them as a reward, which is
Oh,
absolutely fucking insane.
brilliant, bro.
But
We
people
we
do this
started
though,
it.
right?
We started out by saying the brilliance in this shit that they doing.
people people do this shit because anytime I say anything about not drinking alcohol, people will sit there and get all up in arms and be like, you're not living your life. Why? Because I'm not consuming poison. What is your problem?
How you not living your life, man? Because you not yo, that's crazy. That
Because you're
is
not poisoning yourself.
that
Because you're not eating the fucking processed foods out the freezer aisle in the fucking grocery store because you don't eat Trix and Fruit Loops and shit. Somehow you're missing out on life. And you are correct. That is absolutely one of the biggest psyops of
is
all fucking time.
it still confuses me. I'm like,
This is the fucking commercials, the Pop Tarts and shit, and all of this. Like, this is they have whole entire channels and blocks of TV back in the day created specifically to sell cereal and Pop Tarts and shit to kids and fucking
Coca-Cola.
Eggos.
The Coca-Cola thing was brilliant. The Pepsi, all of this shit is just brilliant marketing. Yes, it's harmful. Yes, it's devilish and evil and
But you gotta
diabolical.
marvel at the ingenuity in some of this shit.
Man, listen, I do have a certain reverence for it. I can't lie.
It's impressive. Absolutely, it's impressive.
man, man, how do they come up with this shit, Jay? Do they sit around and just be like, "Yo, we're gonna get we're gonna get fucking 5 billion people to all think this poison is a treat or something to decompress or something to reward themselves with." How do they come up with this shit?
See, this goes back to some of what we were talking about last episode, and my answer is what I believe to be the biggest psyop of all time, which is that everything they teach you in school is a fact. That is what I believe that's the
We cooking
basis
now.
setup for
Mm.
all of this shit. You learn about these holidays in school,
Mm.
you learn about these
Snacks and
traditions
treats.
in school, you learn about the snacks and the treats in school. The two times that everyone loves in school is lunch and recess. And that's when they sit there and they offer you the chocolate milk and you get your little dessert with your school lunch and shit. Or you could go to the vending machine, you could buy chips and you could buy candy. So you associate these snacks, this sugar, salty, fatty ass shit with the only time of the day that you enjoy.
Mm.
And then you go home and you watch TV after you're doing your homework, and they
Mm.
tell you, don't you want some of these Doritos? Don't you want these Fruit Loops in the morning? Don't you want these fucking Pop Tarts and these Eggo waffles and all of this shit, this Yo Plate Go-Gurt shit? All
Mm.
of it. And school just sets you up and primes you for every single bit of it. And this is why you have nowadays where kids will go home and argue with their parents about some shit because this is what their teacher told them. This is what we learned in school. You're stupid, mom and dad, because the teacher told me this. And the teachers are the ultimate
Yeah.
authority figures.
Hey, yeah.
You don't know anything. My teachers do. The principal does. They said this. You're wrong. I'm in school. I'm learning from the experts. You
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, my daughter tried that one time. Oh, nah, mommy, the teacher said, "Oh,
Give a
no.
fuck what the teacher said.
Nah, yeah, we don't do that here. We don't do that around here. You better tell the teacher that motherfucker wrong."
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 we don't do that. Fuck that, but you're right. You're absolutely right, Jay. That that's a top 5 no, that might be a top 2, top 3 PSYOP school.
Highest level.
Might be the most important PSYOP of
Yeah,
all.
they get you when you're super,
Young,
super young and
yeah,
immediately start brainwashing you. All of this shit. I believe every single. We talked about this briefly last episode. I made a video about this. But even when it comes to teaching people language, right? English, if you look at none of it makes any sense. None of the rules of it
yep,
make sense. If you look at though, ghost, thought, and through, those are GHs that are all pronounced differently.
mhm,
Tough is another one.
tough.
It's all different pronunciations of GH. There is no constant pronunciation. GH just makes whatever the fuck sound it wants to. That makes no sense. If you look at the word colonel and colonel, they're spelled COL and KER,
Yep.
but you pronounce them the same. That's fucking ridiculous. Baloney and cologne are spelled very similar, but not pronounced remotely the same or like what it is that they look like. Read and read, to and so, all kinds of shit, right? And I
Lasagna.
personally believe they start teaching you this shit when you're 4 or 5 years old. Look at this shit. What does that say? No, you're fucking wrong. It doesn't make any sense. But it's okay that it doesn't make any sense because things don't need to make sense for them to be true. You just accept them because that's what we told you.
Hey man, that's how we started this show, right? How do
All
you
of this shit.
how do you get billions of people to do the same thing on the
You
same
implant
day?
it in children's minds.
We started it with
This is why they
Thanksgiving.
tell this is why they want to teach this weird tranny shit in school. Hey,
That's what
little
they're
boy, you could
yeah,
be a girl.
or a dog or a fucking cat.
You be a fucking fire engine if that's what floats your boat. A fire engine is just a societal construct, so you can be that.
You could
Anyone who tells you not different is evil. Look at this man in a dress reading you a book.
you could be everything but a god. You can't do those you can't say that.
No, you can't be that. You need someone else to save you.
You
Don't
can't
read about what Jesus was actually teaching. Listen to
yeah.
what we're telling you he was teaching.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say, "Well, I'm not a dog, cat, or woman or man. I'm a fucking god." And they'll
That's
be like,
blasphemy. That's evil. That's wrong.
"No, you can say you're a dog. You can say
That's
that.
okay.
That's cool, but you can't say that. You can't say that." And we're on it. We always this is what we do. We do this to religion. We poke, we poke, we poke because, and there's a reason for that, Jay. Because we question everything. I want to know the answers. That's all. And I have just because I have questions. When I was in school, Jay, I had questions. This is how I learned about the Vatican. This is how I learned about them uh fucking burning people because they were practicing medicine and they thought it was witchcraft and shit. Just listen, man. It's a deep dark history. It's a deep dark history, but they are victorious and they get to write that history. Okay? They get to write that history. This thank
So
this Thanksgiving was a slaughter. If I mean let's if it did happen, I envisioned it a lot different than everyone else envisions it. I believe it would just it's a slaughter. That's what this was. This was if what they saying is true, the pilgrims came over and peacefully and they all had dinner together. And that's why you believe that shit? So where's the Native Americans? It's like three of them left. Where they where they go, man? It's like three of them, man. And they are heavily rewarded though. They had to they gave them a listen, here's your land, here's your casinos. Well, no, they started building them casinos and they was like, hey, watch it. Y'all making too much money. And then look, I don't know if you seen the movie what was it, Blue the Moon? Scorsese directed it with Leonardo DiCaprio and De Niro. It's about right how right after that the Indians or the Native Americans, sorry, they were given land, right? This is what this movie's about. They were given land, and so happened the land that they were given for being slaughtered, right? The land that they were given had oil on it. So now these Indians became the richest people in the world. And guess what happened? You know the movie. I don't even got to tell you the rest of the movie, Jay. What do you think happened to those Native Americans, Jay? That was gifted this land, and then it was like, oh wait a minute. There's oil on that land, and there's no oil on. Wait a minute. We have to get that land back. So what? So what do you think
this is how they
happened?
wound up on reservations.
Happy Thanksgiving, motherfuckers.
You said something about the religion thing that just made me think. It just made me go back to our earlier conversation here. But first and foremost, yeah, we do question the religious thing a lot because here's the thing. The teachings of Jesus Christ versus the writings of the Bible are two very different things. The
Mhm.
Bible has a very different message than Jesus did. Jesus said, "You're all gods." Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." The Bible says, if you don't follow Jesus, then you will go to hell because he has not saved you. You need someone else to save you. You don't have the power to save yourself no matter what you do. Now, the New Testament Bible also says that the Jews are God's chosen people, but I'm sorry, back it up. The New Testament also says if you do not accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you will go to hell. But the New Testament also says the Jews are God's chosen people, but the Jews are the one people who do not believe in the divinity or importance of Jesus Christ. And on top of that, the Jews killed Jesus. Now, going back to what we were saying earlier, Rome, where the Vatican resides, is the one who commissioned the killing of Jesus,
Mhm.
and the Jews carried it out. Now, does that say a lot about what's going on in the world today because patterns repeat themselves throughout history? Who knows? We're just over here speculating and saying things that happen to be true facts.
Just spitballing, man. Just spitballing, and like we said before, what's been around forever? The Vatican.
2,000 years ago,
I
a
mean,
certain place
if
had
you
a
let
certain people kill somebody.
them tell it, I mean, we're just it's not like we're making it up. I didn't make it up. I just read you just we just read and I just observe things differently. You observe things differently. Um and you read and you observe and then you critically think like, damn, the Vatican and religion been around a long fucking time. And if you read these books, like the New Testament, the Old Testament, and if you've read these books, you would understand what we're saying. And you would probably have the same questions. You would have the
You
same
know,
questions.
absolutely. But here's the thing. I feel like sometimes we're too vague and people were just left up to their understanding. So this is to be clear. This is the path that we
Yeah.
just went down.
Just
The
shoot it
Jews
straight.
killed the Jews killed Jesus. For a long time people only blamed the Jews for killing Jesus, which is correct. But the Vatican and Rome told them to do it.
And listen, listen, this is what the book, this is what
This is just facts. No,
yes,
this is easily verifiable facts.
this is what was said and like we do, just to be fair, you know, we do say on this show that history is written by the victorious,
This is true as well.
right? But Jay is saying these things that are was written not by him. Well,
Yeah, I didn't make this shit up.
I just read the word. I just read the words, man. You just read
We
the
just
word.
saying what it is. This is this is a large part of the problem that people have, right? Is they take their narratives and they want to make it be whatever it is that they want it to be, or they intentionally leave out other important things, right? Like when people will say, people try to paint certain people as bad because they like think they look up to Hitler, for example, right? But what they leave out in that is there are two different stories about who Hitler was. The
Mhm.
people who are sitting here saying he was a good leader, a great leader in all of this, aren't basing this off of the common narrative of who he was. They're basing it off of the other story,
Yeah,
but they
right,
leave that out.
right,
They don't want to sit there and highlight that because that doesn't serve their narrative.
right. And then who knows which side is right or wrong? But you can't. Why would you judge the other side because of, like you said, if you're saying, "Oh, Hitler, he was, he was alright," you're going off of not because he did these things. Or
You
you're
believe a
going
different story about him.
right. You're going off that story. You're not going off their story. So why people don't take that into account? Why would they? It doesn't fit the narrative.
That doesn't serve their narrative.
Yeah, why would they? Why would they do that? Right. So we understand that. And look, we're just, I got to keep saying it. We're just saying what's out there, what we see, and put it out there. We're going to say it plainly. We're going to say it plainly for you to objectively sift through. But I'm going to give you, Jay, of course, is going to give you his opinions. I'm going to give you my opinions. Um, like you said about the Vatican and the Jews and Jesus, it was in a book, man. We read
We
it.
ain't write the fucking book.
We ain't write the book. So cool.
Like,
Alright, and I'll say this. I'll say this. I struggle to believe any testament. That's just me.
so
I struggle with it, Jay. I struggle.
this is
Could you answer alright, answer me a question before you go into that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who supposedly wrote the Old Testament? Who wrote who's the author? Who put the words together?
I know who wrote the new one or who translated the new one or some people who
But
translated the
translated
new
it
one
for who?
from yeah, exactly.
I mean, did God himself write it? I don't I have questions, Jay, and
So
there's simple questions. Can you answer them? I don't know who did Jesus write the book? Who wrote the book?
some this the people who wrote the New Testament were people who lived they wrote it was written decades at the earliest after Jesus died by people who never knew him. And it was originally translated by King James, who was a pedophile. Just a fact.
That's what I'm saying. What do we like? I don't believe anything.
The
I just
Rothschilds also commissioned the Schofield translation of the Bible, which is one that is
Yep.
very commonly taught in school.
I also know that.
I mean, in Sunday schools. It's
Yeah,
just these are just facts. Like no
it's
one's making this
facts.
up. These are just things that took place.
So, with that being said, Jay, I find it hard to believe anything in those books. I just I know the stories are cool, man. I know
So
the stories are cool.
this is the thing. This is and we talk about this all of the time, but the importance of being able to think for yourself, the importance of common sense, critical thinking is this. I could get on the internet right now and I could find vast amounts of articles, data, whatever it is that you want to call it, that prove vaccines are safe. I can also find vast amounts of articles and data and people saying that vaccines are terrible for you. I could find vast amounts of data that says World War II is exactly what we were told it was. I could find vast amounts that say it was different. I could find this for 9/11. You can go and find this for anything. You could find information to support whatever it is that you believe. So the only thing that you can trust at the end of the day is your own critical
Yeah,
thinking, your own
yep,
discernment, and your own common sense. And this is all that we are sitting here telling you to do
yep.
is not to just accept what is told to you. Because oftentimes it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It don't to me. I got more questions. Imma just throw them at you. I've always thought it's just hard to talk to certain people because they'll look at me like I'm crazy, right?
Facts.
I'm like, so and I have legitimate questions. I'm not just being satirical and satire or sarcasm or anything, right? I have legitimate questions that maybe you can answer. So God, right? Not the word, the concept.
Hmm.
He was a man. That's a tough one. I just asked you a question. Simple question. Was he? He's a guy.
Yes,
He did all this. He
apparently. I feel like the question that you're going to ask is the same question that I have about all of this. But go ahead.
no, I'm just he's a guy, and he created the sun, moon, stars, planet, universe. He did all of this. This guy, and he wrote, and he had people write a book, and he wrote a book about this guy, and he traveled the world like a regular guy. I'm asking questions. I don't understand.
I don't. I think so.
What was he a spirit? Was he a being? Was he just a man? And then and who is Jesus' his son?
See that's the thing that's always confused me in the New Testament thing is Jesus is God and the Son of God, and he was born from the Virgin Lady, Virgin Mary. It's all very confusing. Is that Jesus is somehow God and his son at the same time? It's very confusing.
Okay. All right. Well, I need someone to answer these simple questions. It was you said he was a man and he created the sun, moon, stars, universe, bees, dolphins, and sharks and shit. One guy. Okay. Beautiful.
Or being.
I would move closer to that. I would move closer to that. So and all right, so let's just say it is a guy. I'm a guy. Why can't I start to believe that I could do these outrageous and beautiful and crazy things? Maybe we are a reflection of this guy, and we are supposed to be doing these magnificent things, and but we have been led astray not to. This is a
See,
thought.
that's the thing, though.
I don't know. I'm just
That's
saying.
what Jesus said. Like, actual Jesus, Yeshua, whatever, that's what he said.
I know.
"We're gods. We're all gods.
I
Are
read
ye not all gods?"
I read it.
Because and what's crazy, though, when you look at the Bible, they took a bunch of random ass books out of the Bible. A bunch of people decided what was going to go in and what was okay, right? Which is weird if it's God's word. Like, who are you to decide which of God's words we should read? But what they left in was a thing where Jesus said, "Are ye not all gods?" And then they try and tell you that's not what it means. Well, who the fuck or what the fuck do you mean that's not what it means? That's what it says. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And also, if it's based off of interpretation, who's to say your interpretation is correct?
Right. Right. Come on. There's so many things, Jay. There's so many
But
things.
that's exactly what he said.
That's what he said, right? That's what
We're
I
all
thought.
gods.
That's what I thought I read. Um, that's what I thought I
That is
read.
what you read.
And the whole all right, so God, is that his name? Was it he's a God, that's his name.
I think
I know it's a crazy like but
I don't know. I've seen variants where I've said people say his name, God's name, actual name is like I am or some shit like that. So whenever you're saying I am, but see, this also feeds more into the idea that we're all individually
but
gods.
I know I'm asking you the right questions, right? So I know I'm asking you the right questions because I know what I am, right? So again, read the book and then have your own interpretation about it, right? Have your own interpretation. My you don't have to believe what I believe. I believe that I we are walking gods or at least in a reflection or an expression of it. I believe we are put here to do amazing things and what we put in our bodies and our minds and our spirits and our soul has prevented us from doing all these magnificent things. And we
Yes.
and when you see people do magnificent things, they tapped into like 0.1% of that magnificent thing they could do. If you didn't spiritually and take in bullshit, if you didn't mentally take in bullshit, if you didn't drink and smoke and eat bullshit and sugar and all this, it's just a whole bunch of shit. And even the world surrounds you and rent and schooling, the way they school you, everything has affected you from doing being the greatest version of yourself, which is a god or a goddess if you're a woman. And that's what I believe. I believe we're all part of the universe, all part of one universe, right? And we all affect this universe. All of us. I don't give. Oh, well, what am I going to do to affect? If you go out if you could fall in your house and affect someone. You have to go to the hospital. That doctor has to work on you. He goes. It's you affect everything you do affects somebody. Affects the universe. Whatever you
Yeah.
eat
Nothing
affects
happens in a vacuum.
nothing. Nothing. How is that not godlike? That you can affect hundreds of people, thousands, millions of people. How is that not godlike?
Separate from that. Yeah, you could affect a bunch of people. It's absolutely very godlike. But separate from that, right? You get to make everything that you see, whatever it is that you would like it to be. You get to decide if
Right?
good things happen to you or if bad things happen to you. You get to decide where you go. You get to decide what you look
Yeah,
like, what you think. Like you create your whole entire
yeah.
world.
Godlike. Godlike.
1000%.
And how do you get people to not think like that? Oh, that's the diabolical thought. This is why we're so intrigued by the plan they put together. It's fucking brilliant. How do you get people not to think like that?
See, I have a saying that the devil's greatest trick is making you believe he doesn't exist. Now, personally, I think his greatest trick was making you believe he's God
Mm.
and that you listen to him and that you believe that all of your
Mm.
sins are actually what are going to save you. And you believe
Ooh.
everything that's going to save you is what's going to damn you. Inversion of
Mm.
reality, right? What better way to make people work against their own self interest than to convince them that doing so is good for them?
Mm, 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 mm. Again, once again, a brilliant, brilliant
When
plan.
this is where it is that we go. This is why it is that alcohol and drugs and sugary nonsense processed foods are considered rewards.
We brought it back.
This is why the leisure, this is why sleeping in, this is why playing video games, wasting your time doing nothing is considered rewards, why it's considered good, why it's considered accomplishments. This is why they go on TV and they hype up having sex with a bunch of random ass people and going out and being a fucking degenerate because the devil made you believe that all of the shit was bad for you is what you should be doing.
You yeah, think about it too. I did mention that, my little experiments in the house and humming and singing songs. It just goes to show you how songs and music and entertainment plays one of the hugest parts in you not believing that you're a god, right? This is how because remember when rap first started, man, it was God this and God 5%ers and this knowledge of self. It was all this shit, man. And it was
Supreme mathematics.
all of it. It was all spiritual and then and it was spiritual. God, what up, God? What up, God? They said, oh,
Yeah, now
wait.
all of that, now you're
Uh,
considered corny when you sit there and talk about it. Go tell somebody Greer Rising and we don't want to hear that. That's this weird shit now.
come on, man.
But
Come
once
on.
upon a time, that's
Once
just what
upon a
people did.
time.
But
What
they
up, God?
replaced it. They replaced that shit with gang banging and all this other ignorant shit.
It's crazy. Not that not that Wu-Tang Clan was with the quintessential, you know, spokespersons for what we're talking about, but they were hugely influential and they did implicate a lot of this stuff we were talking about into their music. God, what up, God? 5%, what's knowledge? They did do that and they did talk about being taken out off the radio, being blackballed and black. Wu Tang's for the children. That's what ODB said when he went on stage. He did, and I was like, wow, this motherfucker did that. And it's starting to make sense now. It started, yeah, there was grimy grind balls from Staten Island, but they did have a little message. God, what up, God?
Absolutely, they did.
What up, God? Hey, man, Wu Tang's for the babies. All right, here comes Puff. He had a job, right? This man had a job. Here comes Puff. Yo, get them out of there. Wu Tang was the biggest group in the world, biggest act in the world. In the world. All right, get that out of here. Let's get this shiny shit. Let's get hoes and champagne in there. Let's move this on in. And listen, I love Biggie and but they all played it. We all did. It all played a part. Even I
But
played a part.
see, this is the thing though, right? We point and bringing that up. Once Pac was gone, the more conscious stuff was no longer the pop because Pac had the mixture.
Yeah,
Keep your head up and all of this, but you that stopped being radio singles
yeah, and
once
he
he was gone.
and he went full gangster after that. He just went full gangster.
But even if you go to All Eyes on Me, he's back and forth with shit.
He was. I'm talking about, but his
Uh
his lifestyle, his life.
yeah, and that was him getting wrapped up in the wrong
Yeah,
shit. But still musically, right? Machiavelli, like usually like blasphemy or some shit
yeah.
like that.
He was
And
talking that shit.
he's still talking that shit.
He was talking that.
But and then even if you look at Nas and Jay-Z didn't get more recognition until they switched up what they were talking
on,
about. And so it was written and in my lifetime,
come
right?
on.
Um, because Reasonable Doubt and In My Lifetime are very, very different albums.
Jay even said it, man. But he said if I
I
ride
can't
like,
help to pour from one of them.
and he said,
I want to rhyme like Common Sense. But I did 5 mil. I am rhyming like Common Sense.
he said it. He told you.
This is the thing. Jay-Z is one of the few people who I think stood from the beginning, understood the game, pivoted without losing sight of what he was trying to do.
Yeah, because he knew. He knew. He said it. I can't rhyme like this. I can't give you that because they ain't gonna accept that. They ain't gonna push this. So I got to do this. And Nas realized it too. He realized it too, and he shifted. And he, like you said, that's when it happened for them. When they shifted, they didn't. Illmatic didn't go platinum at the time. Reasonable Doubt didn't at the time. What happened? What happened? It was written. You had to
Yeah,
switch it.
with If I Ruled the
Rule the
World,
world. Yeah, and I
people
love it was
love that.
written.
People love Street Dreams.
Yeah, I love it was written. Yeah, the gangster, mafioso stuff, and that was more okay. We could get with this. Ain't no knowledge in this. No knowledge of self in this shit. Here we go.
This honestly, that's why I think people disliked Nostradamus so much, because topically it was more like older
Yeah,
shit. Like I went
yeah,
back and
yeah,
listened to Nostradamus a bunch. I'm like, I don't understand why this album gets so much hate.
yeah.
Is it was written? No. But this is a good ass album.
It was good. It was good. There's a lot of
But he's
joints on that.
talking some other shit on it.
He
And
went.
they don't like that.
He probably went back and was like, I don't like what they saying. Let me let me get that back on my nostril. Yeah, let me. And then he realized again, like, nope, nope, we not with this. Yeah, they killed Nostradamus, and I like Nostradamus. I like
I
I
like
like
Nostradamus, yeah.
I like.
I enjoyed that was the first Nas album I heard personally, was Nostradamus.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah, I was 6 when
Oh,
Illmatic
yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah. Got you. Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm old.
But like, yeah.
I'm old.
But all of this, like, this is when he's talking. This is the same thing with they killed Street's Disciple too. And
Yeah,
I went back very recently and listened to Street's Disciple. I'm like, this is a pretty solid album,
I got to go
especially
back.
for a 25 track
Yeah,
double disc album.
they did
It
kill
is,
that shit.
but this is when he goes back to talking the other shit. When he's back on his conscious shit, everybody wants to kill it. All of a sudden, it's a problem now.
If you want to be, if you want, he's never really had great commercial success.
No,
It was written.
no, he is certain people. It's like him and Wu-Tang again, who were never like the commercially biggest acts, who are still huge people.
Yeah, yeah. He never really, and like it's because he dipped his toe back into that conscious. I can't just give you if I rule the world joints. I got to give you a little something, and that's why he was High 97 really they didn't push. He had an issue with them too. He
But
had
see,
an issue with
that's the
them.
thing, is it's certain people who have stayed in between the whole time. Like Scarface is another one.
Yep,
Um, who's another big name, but like big name in hip hop, but not outside of that, because they don't push that shit, because
yep.
he's actually talking about some shit.
Yeah, and
When he's actually talking about some shit, they
that
want nothing to do with it.
that's a great fact. That's a great fact, and going back to Jay on Reasonable Doubt, just thinking about it, he was giving you the pitfalls of he wasn't he wasn't actually yeah, it wasn't like, "Oh, you could do this on the streets. This is glorifying." It was a lot of pitfalls on that
What,
album.
fucking the evils, like
He
the whole
oh, y
these are if you listen to these are sad songs.
yeah,
None of these are not happy,
nah,
triumphant songs.
nope. Pitfalls, all pitfalls. "Don't do what I did." He was saying it. "Don't do what I did. Don't do this, don't do
Yeah,
that."
like you get a couple of the shit talking, like the 22 twos and
Right.
fucking friend or foe and whatever. But other than that,
He's telling you, "Man, this is a fucked up life. This is a fucked up life." But that didn't work. That didn't work.
Nah, they wanted cough up a lung. They want imaginary players.
And that goes back to Charleston White. That goes back to spin it all the way back around. You give them the bullshit.
A more actually modern example of that, and this kind of makes me sad, but is Wale. Wale's first album,
Hmm.
he was more conscious underground backpack shit. Then he got with Rick Ross and started making diced pineapples and shit and having big ass hits.
Uh,
Wale has always been a very skilled technical rapper, but
mhm.
he switched to making a very different kind of music.
Yeah, most of them do, man. Most of them
And
do,
that is
man.
unfortunate.
But we started off by saying it's a ploy. It's maybe not by the artist, but definitely who the handlers of these labels and the execs and the higher ups. It's a ploy. We started off by saying, how do you get to indoctrinate your plan into people's minds? How do you get it in there? And music and entertainment is a great way. It's schools. We started. We said we. That's how you. That's how you get people from. That's how you get people from saying, "Yo, man, hey, man, hold on. I believe I could do anything. I'm a goddamn god." Into, oh man, I'm about to just lay on this couch and eat this fucking cheeseburger and be fat piece of shit. How do you? That's how. That's how, man. Come on
It
now.
is it is unfortunate. This is the last thing just popped into my or the last topic just popped into my head. But I think Outkast is the only people who went backwards. They started off country and they got more success as they got more conscious, which is interesting to me. I
They
mean,
were.
not country, but they started off as more gangster shit. Like Southern Playalistic Cadillac music
Yeah,
was more typical street shit, and then you got ATLians and the Quemini and shit. They start getting more.
but was it conscious or more abstract? More, yeah, a little
Here's
bit
the
more
so this is this
abstract,
okay. Here's it was abstract.
artsy, a little artsy.
It was more artsy, but here's I kind of answered my own thing because Big Boy did not take the conscious topics that
Right,
Andre
right,
3000 did.
right. He was
And
still on that
Andre
player shit.
3000 was, I think Andre 3000 was good enough of a rapper and an eccentric enough person that he could say anything and people would have loved it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, Big Boy was still a player. He still was on that player
Yeah,
shit.
he was Daddy Fat Sacks the whole
But
time. So
but I think that the tone. I mentioned this before on one of our shows. Tone of the music plays a big part.
yeah,
So
1000%.
yeah, so the tone stayed conscious. The tone became conscious. Not all the time what they were saying was conscious, but the tone was always conscious. Like Tribe Called
Mhm.
Quest. People say they're conscious group. They're conscious. But no, the tone was conscious.
I've always found it weird that Q-Tip was considered a conscious
Yeah.
rapper. I've always found that weird.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, that's what like I don't understand why Q-Tip gets lumped in with this.
He
It's,
just
it's
wasn't
always been
gangster.
very strange to me.
He wasn't gangster. That's why. So it was like, where all right, what is he? But he called himself abstract. That's the thing. I'm the
Yeah,
abstract.
the abstract.
Yeah, so people just were like, "Ah, well, we're not saying abstract. You're conscious." But he
Yeah,
wasn't.
he was
And
one of backpackers.
yeah, Tribe Called Quest wasn't a conscious. De La Soul
I've
wasn't.
always found I've always found that weird. They do it with Far Side too, and it's like
Yeah,
some of them
yeah,
people get lumped into this, and
yeah.
I always in all honesty, I've never really Common. I'm kind of mixed about too, as far as his like degree of
Right.
conscious.
Yeah, he never
Like,
really. Yeah,
this is odd to me
yeah. He say some
that they.
shit, but he wasn't a gangster. But he wasn't conscious. You know what I'm saying? The tone was though. There's a
Yeah,
difference. The tone, the neo soul, the neo-centric driven beats, the soul sample, the soul loops. So those things made the tone conscious. Because
yeah.
yeah, you ain't gonna be rapping, no conscious shit on no NWA beat. So you know what I'm saying? So people just say they hear the beat, they hear the non-gangster lyrics, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's just
Conscious rapper.
he's
Yeah,
saying some smart shit." They don't
yeah.
even
That
listen.
was those are. I don't know. I've always found it weird that some of them people got lumped into that little conscious shit. But
Who
then
was
again, that makes me
conscious
think
though?
like legitimately.
Yeah.
Fucking KRS-One.
KRS-One.
K-
Legitimately.
KRS-One.
Yes, legitimately.
Ice Cube, actually.
Ice Cube after, when he left the group, for
Yeah,
sure.
after NWA, Ice Cube,
For sure,
1000% Ice Cube.
for sure. Damn, not a
Uh,
lot.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
But see, these are the people who don't get caught up in this. They don't get called
They don't get called
conscious,
conscious rappers.
even though they are the ones who legitimately are.
Yeah, they
Like
talking
Killer Mike is the new Southern Ice Cube,
for
and
sure.
Ice Cube is straight political. Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, yes. Okay, you naming all of them. I can't name. I'm just like, where the fuck are you named all the conscious rappers. I don't.
But this is, and it's weird because like once you get into the '90s, they start calling, like, I love Mos Def, but I don't consider Mos Def a conscious rapper outside of maybe the Black on Both Sides album a
Yeah,
little bit,
yeah.
but past that,
Past
I
that,
don't really,
he was just
I don't really,
he was just talking shit. Like I'm the best.
yeah,
Like I'm not Nick. I'm the best.
yeah. It was always very very strange to me. Roots kind of got lumped in there. I don't really consider them to have ever been
Damn, you're right.
like Black Thought be talking shit.
Yeah, he be
Like
talking.
Black Thought is like a battle rapper.
He be talking. He does mix
He
in.
said some knowledgeable shit.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not just
yeah.
on some ignorant gangster shit.
Right, right.
But do I consider him a conscious rapper? Like again, like Ice Cube? No.
He's well read. I tell you.
He's
Tell
intelligent.
you.
See, that's the thing though. That at a certain point in time, they just started calling intelligent people conscious, and then they knock all of the conscious shit. See, it's another little subtle thing over there. Because Lupe Fiasco, he didn't get lumped into that. He
He
should have though.
didn't. Yeah, he should have. He
He
should
should
have.
have.
Yeah, yeah, but cause what was that? Kick and push, kick
Yeah,
push.
he got Kick. Okay, yeah. So Kick Push is a poppy song, right? But then you got the instrumental one about the kid who watches the TV and does
Yeah,
everything that he sees on the TV. He got that. He got the thing about it's like the mother of the boy whose father left is like from all of their different perspectives and shit about the lost father.
yeah.
And then he got the thing with all the conspiracy theories and the smallpox blankets. Like he got a bunch of that shit.
And then he got
It's like steeped in like 82 layers of metaphor, so maybe it's harder to
right,
understand.
but
But
but he still can deliver if you are what you say you are, a
yeah.
super. So it's
But even that shit, like outside of the poppy choruses, the verses were still talking about something. The whole entire Cool album was
so I would ask
stop.
you.
This shit is not cool.
Uh, so I gotta ask you, what the fuck is a conscious rapper? What's the definition? Can we?
I
Can
would
we?
actually hold up. I would say that over the last you did
No, don't you
because you
say it.
disappeared for you just hold on no 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 hold
No, I know, I
on,
know. Nah, it's
let me finish
cool.
what I'm
It's
saying.
cool. It's cool.
You disappeared for a minute
Yep.
and then you came back. You did I think it was like 2017 or something. You had the 1%
Yep.
album EP, whatever the fuck it is that you call it. And then I think you disappeared for a minute again.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you came back with the director's cut and all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that the overall message of your last 5-8 years of music trends conscious.
What is conscious again? What would you
I define it
quantify that?
as elevational. Something designed to elevate. That's how. I know it's not a word, but something designed to elevate you in
I love it.
consciousness, in purpose, in whatever the fuck. That's how I define it, or to make you aware of what's going. Like Killer Mike and Ice Cube, I lump into there and designed to be like awareness. Same thing for KRS-One and Chuck D, Public Enemy, all of that.
I
But
like
then
that.
you got Lloyd Banks's
I was gonna ask Bank.
recent window where it's anything that Kevin Gates's recent little transformation, like anything like that, where it's some degree of how do you better your life? How can you better yourself? How can you do this? I count as the two sides of the conscious coin.
Okay. I like that definition of awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, making people aware, making people conscious.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that because I don't think
Yep.
that's ever been said. What is the definition? What the hell is a conscious rapper? What is that? No one's ever said that. That's why we've been able, or people have been able to lump everyone into a category because there's no definition to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a tone to it. There's an idea of what it sounds like, right? It sounds like Tribe Called Quest,
Yep.
right? It sounds
Sounds
like
like College
Common.
Dropout. Sounds
Yes,
like Far Bizarre Ride to the Far Side. Yeah.
right. Because Ye has been considered conscious, and that's far. That's far.
Absolute insanity.
Yeah,
Because
that.
Kanye has only ever rapped about Kanye.
Yeah, yeah. That's he's
Like,
far from conscious, a conscious rapper. But the tone is conscious. Right. It's so I'm glad we was able to clear that up for people. A conscious rapper is someone who makes you aware of things.
that's how I would define that.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm glad I think that's the first time that's been said.
Yeah, because none of the rest of the shit does that.
No,
Which
no.
is again, that's why I throw Lupe in there. If you could decipher what it is that he's talking about, you go Prisoner 1 and 2 and shit like that is it's telling you something.
He's he's intricate. We could say that. Um he's
He
intricate.
is also, yes.
Yes, he's intricate.
Um, but then even if you go to in the battle rap, I would throw Loaded Lux and B Dot in there.
For sure. For sure. I'm kind of miss B Dot. I ain't seen him in a minute.
He disappeared and he was
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
he had
crazy.
a good little run.
I think he was crazy with it, man. I
I
don't,
wanted to see him and Lux
him
battle.
and Lux, yeah, him and
That's what I
Lux.
want to see was him, but like Lux. Like I want to see the Lux that
Yeah.
battled Twerk battle
You would have to.
B Dot or the huh?
He would have to show up for B Dot.
Yeah, otherwise he would get destroyed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He would have to show up. Gray hoodie Lux is what they call it.
Yeah, Gray Hoodie, not fucking Sue Surf battle Lux. Like not
No,
that.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
that
Yeah,
was the most disappointing fucking battle.
yeah. B Dot, yeah, he doesn't get talked about enough. He's
Yeah, because he's legitimately conscious.
yeah, but he was still like an assassin. It wasn't as like conscious beat me up. Ah, I'm a conscious. Just beat me up. I'm too so. No, it was like I'm
Nah, because
conscious.
he was gangster
He
with
was
the
vicious
shit.
with it.
So
He was vicious with it,
yeah,
and that's what I would like to. That's what I like to categorize when I'm writing. I like to be. I just like to preach, and I want to be vicious. Also,
yeah. Nah, I think that's a good way. And honestly, that's why I think he would beat Loaded Lux is because he's far
he
more
got.
aggressive than
Yeah,
him.
he has an aggressive side to it. Yeah, the
Yeah,
viciousness. Like Cube was a vicious, conscious rapper. He delivered his shit viciously, uh,
yeah.
and I like that.
Same thing. Killer Mike.
Killer Mike, yeah, he has a gritty tone to it, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's the shit that works. That's what you need the good balance between the two.
Yeah, yeah. Going into that, right? And I know I'm way off subject, and
Fuck it.
I know we're getting into the 2 hour 30-minute stage, which is fucking
Fuck it.
fantastic. You. Little dance for the people. Hey man, listen, it's getting late. It's old man time. It's getting late for on my side. I don't know about y'all, but yo, you know what really kind of grinds my gears, Jay?
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. I see people hiding behind this on social media and podcasts and shit like this. I'd like to get your thoughts on it. I see a lot of people hiding behind like their opinion, and they like to state that it's an opinion, and if you say anything about it, well, it's my opinion. Why would you care about my opinion? Like, for instance, someone to say, "It was written" is better than Illmatic, and someone to say, "Well, no, it's not," and well, it's my opinion. Well, if it's just your opinion, why would you state it on X or and then you don't want anyone to combat your opinion. And you just hide behind, well, in IMO, in my opinion. So when I say in my opinion, you can't say anything because it's just my opinion. And I don't like you saying anything. I don't like you challenging my opinion. People hiding behind this. Dog, it's cool that's your opinion. Keep it to yourself if you don't want it challenged. It's okay. But if you tweet it or you exit or you whatever the fuck you want to call it, people will have an opinion about
Facts.
your opinion if you and this is why I like to say most people are not gladiators. You get you step one foot into the arena and say, yo, and say your opinion or hot take or whatever the case may be, and then you pull back a little bit and say, well, it's just my opinion. I get to say anything I want. It's my opinion. That's not how this shit works. Unless you want somebody to come to combat your opinion. Be- because you can't step one foot, you can't have one foot in the arena and one foot out by saying I am in my opinion. Well, you can't say anything to me because it's just my opinion. Well, no, motherfucker, don't keep your opinion to yourself. It's like what grinds my gears about LGBT whatever. I can never say all the letters.
Them
Uh
letter folk.
yeah, the letter folks when you blatantly put yourself out there, this is what I am. And someone say, "Hey man, I don't like that." Well, you can't say that. Well, you put it out there. I can say whatever I want. If you kept it to yourself, I wouldn't be able to say anything, and we'll all be happy, right? But that's not what you want. And I want people to be real. People are not real with themselves. That's not what you want. When you go on X and you say, "Oh, this," and you got your hot take, and then you say it's him, and that's just my opinion. It's like people want Jay. People want the attention without the scrutiny.
They just want validation, is what they want.
Yeah, they want
They want
every.
someone else to say, "Oh man, you right. That's brilliant."
What type of world are we living in when you want everyone to agree with you? You want
That's
everyone to agree with you. I can't,
this is
Jay.
and
I can't put out an album and expect everybody to like it.
But this is the reason that people have some of these problems that they have today is because they act like anyone who disagrees with them or is not fully supportive of what they are doing, like that's somehow a problem. Like you're owed any of this shit. Like I don't agree with your lifestyle. How dare? Why do you fucking tell me about it? If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know, and then I couldn't have an opinion. I don't I don't give a fuck what you think about it was written, but you told me. Now I get to have an opinion on it because you shared it.
That's
That's
how it
how this
works.
works. Like if I say something, people now get to say whatever it is that they think about it.
Do you
Right,
complain?
wrong, doesn't fucking matter.
Do you complain, Jay? When
No.
when you
It's a
make come on now.
yeah, people attack me every day for saying things. I don't fucking care. Like this is life. This is what's going to happen. It honestly, if I said something and everyone was like, "Yeah, you're right," that would make me pause and think, am I?" Because it's it's now very disconcerting to me that so many people agree
Absolutely.
with me and nobody disagrees. That's weird now.
Absolutely.
Like this is life. But yeah, people, I don't know. I think you got to commit either way, right? Like if you're going to throw your opinion out there, then people are going to say something about it. And either you're just going to let them talk and not participate in it at all, or you're going to sit there and defend your opinion. But the idea of, oh, it's just my opinion, that's a stupid fucking path to take.
It's a cop out. It's a cop out. You want your cake and you want to eat it too.
See, that's a in relation to I know the album thing wasn't specifically the point, but that's always been a thing that I've found weird is that some people will sit there and act like there is an objective best album
I
and your
know.
favorite album. And it's super fucking weird to me. Cause like, who are you to tell me what I fucking enjoy more? And who are you to tell me that I need to think that this album that I don't enjoy more is better than this one that I do
It's
enjoy more?
it's
Like I've seen
crazy.
people talk about this. Like, who are your favorites and who do you think are the best? Why would that be different?
I don't know, man. I don't
This shit
know.
is so fucking weird.
This whole debate culture, we gonna that's what we're gonna call it. The whole debate culture is crazy because you don't really want to debate. You don't really want to debate. You want to agree. And you want to have this fucking kumbaya agreeance party. Hey man, we all agree. You know what I mean, Jay? Like no one's supposed to be like, yo, that that you're wrong, dog. Well, no. Well, here's why you're wrong. And I'm not talking about albums and shit because you can't be wrong about what you like.
Nah, it's your personal fucking preference. Like,
Exactly. But you can't say You can't say don't talk to me because don't say anything because you can't say that either. You can just be like, hey
They
man,
do though.
they do. But you can be, hey man, this but look, you like that, I like this, cool. I put it out there. I put it out there and you made your statement. I don't agree. We can agree to disagree and call it a day. But nobody wants to agree to disagree. Everybody wants to agree. Everybody wants to agree. I don't want to agree with none of you. Like you said, if too many people agree, I know something's up.
Something's a problem now.
Something's up, Jay. Because
Yeah,
most people are idiots. So
facts.
I don't I don't want 99% people agreeing with me because then I'm like, I don't know if I said I don't know if what I said was right.
Yeah, that should make me question myself. If I say
Absolutely.
something, 1,000 people could comment on it, and 1,000 people agreed. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
I mean, let me take another look at what I'm saying here.
or maybe you're affecting people in a positive way. I don't
Also possible. But
yeah,
see, that's why I'm not just going to abandon it. I would take a second look at it, though.
yeah. Come on now. I think what we do, and I think, well, I know what we do affects people in positive ways. We might go about it in different ways, but it doesn't matter. It still affects people in a positive way, and that goes back to what we are. We are God's walking the earth, Jay. That's why we
You,
do this.
you know what? Before I forget, there was a comment that we were supposed to address
Mhm.
from the last episode.
What was it? I forgot.
Hold up.
Oh yeah, pull it. Yeah, come on now.
Hold up.
We don't
Hold
forget.
up. Hold up.
We don't forget. I want the name too of the culprit.
Uh,
I'm losing daylight over here.
all right. We'll wrap it up with this shit here.
I know. I'm getting blacker and blacker by the second.
Damn,
You're gonna be talking to a shadow in a minute. Get that comment, man. Who was it a negative
ah,
comment? Oh, here we go.
love Jason and respectfully, if he's willing to be questioned like he mentioned, I'm so curious to understand why I'm seeing him hit like on all of Candace Owens' posts.
Ah,
I'm not trying to argue, debate, or say anything negative. I just want to understand because I feel Candace is an exact example of what you are warning people about, i.e.,
ah,
emotional, causing division, and everything else you are describing on this post that we should avoid and ignore.
I do remember that comment. I do remember that. Well, I want to hear what you have to say. It's interesting. I do want to hear.
Well, so first and foremost, 90% of the things that I like, I don't watch. So I don't specifically know what is being referred to. If I follow somebody and I see a post, I like it.
Like it. Me
I don't
too.
watch everything that I like.
Yeah, me too.
Um, but secondly, I have to assume that's in relation to all of the stuff recently with everyone being told to dislike Candace Owens because of what it is that she's saying about the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Mhm.
And I understand that that has been made into a divisive issue, but I don't think that she's the one doing the divisiveness with it. She's just asking questions. I don't see what's wrong with that. And as we've said before, if you can't ask questions, that should make you ask questions.
There you have it. I mean, there you have it. That's all she's doing is asking questions. That's all we do is ask questions. Um, I, I'll say it again, and people will hate me for it and dislike me for it, and not listen to my albums and stream them. But I like Candace Owens. I do. I don't agree with everything she says, but I don't care. I don't have to. I'm not a agree guy. Oh, we gotta agree. Let's kumbaya. Let's
Yeah, she says different stuff. Whoop de fucking do. I don't
yeah, I
agree
don't
with
give a
everything
fuck.
that anybody says. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
I don't agree. Like, yeah, that's cool. Still dig most of her content. And look, I have a different level of discernment. I'm a great room reader, a great judge of character. I could uh I could look at her from the angle that I'm sitting at and say, I think she's a decent woman, right? I could kind of pick through the people I could like. She look he or she or whatever. That's it's a decent person. Do I agree with everything they do? No. And I'll say it to their face. Like, but I do like that person as a whole. Like Candace Owens, I like her as a whole. I think she's a decent person. I don't think what she does is trying to hurt people or be divisive. I don't think that's what she's trying to do. But when you ask questions, difficult questions that deserve difficult answers, that in itself is going to be divisive, Jay. If we brought up our takes on religion and our questions, not even takes, if we asked people our questions, hey man, it's almost blasphemy. And that's like I said, difficult
Yeah,
questions is divisive.
anytime you challenge something popularly accepted, it's divisive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So
Yeah, it's life.
that is life, and you got to
But
accept
but
it.
see, the I don't believe that the problem comes from these questions or the people asking these questions. It's what the people around it choose to do with it.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
they're using her to create division, but I don't believe that she herself is doing that.
No, no, she's like you said, she's asking
Just asking
difficult,
questions. I don't see
difficult
what's wrong with
questions.
that.
Yeah, and she does a little bit more than ask questions. She try to get the answers.
No wrong
So
with that either.
nothing wrong with that to me. But you know where that can go wrong with other people. So there is your division right there. It's one thing to ask questions. It's another thing to try and get the answers to those difficult questions. And there goes your division.
Especially when they disrupt the narrative.
Yes. And that's where you get your divisiveness from. Wherever you see divisiveness, it's from difficult questions being asked and trying to be answered. So I don't fault her for that. That she could keep doing her thing. I would just say, be safe. Be safe. She knows. She probably knows what She got to watch out. But then again, she got a good old. She got a white man in the house. She that could protect her. A bigger. I mean, I mean, that's that. I mean, that's a that's why I disagree with her a little bit because she says things that don't add up all the time, right? And she can say certain things. Like if there was any other black person saying what she says, I don't know if they would either get the traction. I know for a fact they wouldn't get the traction. She's the only black person that gets that type of traction. Okay, and here's a difficult question, Jay. How many people of her hue without a white counterpart gets that traction? Can you name any?
I didn't actually know who she was married to.
Very somebody important.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
somebody important. Their family is important.
Hmm.
It's the reason she's she's not just it's not Monopoly, man. She didn't just come here and it's a game. She's like I said, then you can't name one. Yeah, she's brilliant. She's articulate. She's everything you need to be. But there are others too. But if they don't have a certain quality
Hmm.
to them, then they don't get pushed to the forefront. I could even
Interesting.
I could say Tate. I could say Tate, but we know that he has a certain thing to him too. So I'm like, oh, that's why. And we went into the show. We started the show. So I'm like, I start to listen and I start to break. This is how I just my optics see shit, Jay. I'm like, man, I like this person, man. I like them. Why? But why? Damn, why they saying all this shit and they get to why they get to say this shit and why do we get to see it? Who's pulling the strings? I ask those questions to myself. why would Andrew Tate be allowed to say, yeah, they locked him up and try to put these charges on him and this and that. And Candace, I'm sure she has her own trials and tribulations, but she's still allowed to say what she wants to say. A lot of shit that people are not allowed to say, she says. Why? I like to ask why. Maybe it's a simple. Maybe the answer is so simple that I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, I get it. I got it.
Answer still worth having, though.
I would like to know why you can you ask those questions and not somebody else. I'm gonna leave it at that. And listen, these are people I like. These are people I like. These are people I want to believe in. Right? These are people I want to believe in that I genuinely think are decent people. Like, yo, man, I like what he's saying, man. I like what she's saying. But then they say something, and I'm like, okay, why is this person allowed to say this? Why is Nick Fuentes and this person and this person? Yeah, Jay, I'm gonna bring it back to that. Why was he allowed to say something like that? What you said he said earlier. Yeah, it was stupid and it made no sense. But why?
That's
Why?
the question. Why?
That is the question. Who's behind it? And actually, and I'm gonna end it with this. This will make me kind of look at people. Charleston White, I got to give it to him. He made me start to look at these dudes and females with a side eye. He said, and this is what I started to look behind this, like, but why? Yeah, Candace, love Candace. Why? But why is she allowed to? Who's she married to? Who's that person's father? Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, that's another that's again, love Candace.
Interesting.
I love Candace. I love her. But
Still interesting.
I still want to know why she's able to get away with these difficult questions and be divisive, so divisive, so divisive. That's what I don't think she is. But like I said, why is she allowed to? Why not just cut the cord? And she
These are
don't
the
she don't
questions.
she doesn't own YouTube, man. She don't own her channel. That's all BS.
That's facts. Well, she got a website too, I think, where she streams as well, I
She don't
believe.
own the server, man. They
That's
don't
true.
she
This
don't
is true.
they could cut the plug if they wanted to.
This is true.
So I just wanna
Interesting questions.
yeah, man. Hell yeah. This is what we do here.
We need a name.
Damn. The device for division.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to write that shit down. I'm gonna forget it.
I mean, we were just talking about divisiveness and division and the
Yeah,
devices.
I gotta write
No,
that shit
hold
down.
on.
That's a good ass name.
Yeah, let me tweak it. The devices for division.
Mm,
God
okay.
damn. Come on now.
There we go.
Come on now.
The devices for division.
Damn.
Boom. All right.
God damn it. What a broadcast. We're going on 3 hours, yo.
Come
Woo.
on. Fucking greatest. Episode 31, Devices for Division. We will be back when we return.